This is a live presentation of the Ticats Audio Network. Are you ready? Ticats football is on the air.
Touchdown, Tiger Cats! Caught it! It's a touchdown!
Number 17, Luke Tasker, what a catch!
Now the voice of the Tiger Cats. Here is RJ Broadhead with analyst Luke Tasker.
Good evening. Game 2 of the season for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in Toronto against their biggest rivals and the defending Grey Cup champions. The Argos' first game of the season after a Week 1 bye. I'm RJ Broadhead along with Luke Tasker. Want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, including my dad, Roger, who's probably the listened to the most Ticats games in Saskatchewan of anyone. I'd be willing to bet on that, so that's terrific.
True.
And happy Father's Day to you, Luke.
Oh, thank you, yes, and to my dad, Steve, as well, and all the fathers listening.
So it's a big game. We saw some growing pains for the Tiger Cats in Week 1 in Winnipeg. A tough place to play, that's clear. A lot of teams will lose in Winnipeg this year. A good comeback by the Tiger Cats in that one, Luke, but seemed to be a lot of fixable errors. You look at the penalties off, the 17 points allowed off turnovers. That's something the Tiger Cats don't want to see happen again. So seeing that in Game 1, being able to tell all the players, which I'm sure they already knew, but is that something that can be worked on and fixed, and do you expect those two issues to be corrected tonight?
Absolutely. I'd be shocked if we see 17 penalties again from the Tiger Cats. 142 yards in penalties last week lost. I mean, just a really, really hard thing to overcome and to win, and I think you're going to see that number drop substantially. But the turnovers, again, we talked about it endlessly last year, and Week 1 wasn't totally what the Ticats wanted to do in the turnover ratio, giving up the ball 6 times. You do have a young quarterback that you're facing, and to try to maybe force Chad Kelly into some early or errant throws, Mark Washington's defense will, of course, try to capitalize on that tonight. But both of those categories, a loss in both of those in the Week 1, and if the Ticats can move that needle the other direction, they're going to have a much easier chance at success tonight.
So to put that into perspective, when you're talking about quarterbacks, Bo Levi Mitchell, 90 wins in his CFL career. Chad Kelly, 0. There's a big mismatch in experience in that category. We'll see what happens on the field, but seeing Bo at practice this week after, for his standards, probably not his best game in Game 1, but very close to some big plays. Is that a timing thing that maybe they learned during the game and can work on in practice and perfect it and get those big plays to work tonight?
Well, I'm excited to see the answer to that question. And
Come on, you're a receiver.
You know what? And I do think sometimes misses like that, and they had a handful of them that were really apparent in the Winnipeg game. Sometimes misses like that are just as good as of a teaching moment and a learning moment for quarterbacks and receivers as is a big play or a touchdown. And so my guess of an answer is yes, they're going to be able to correct some of those misses. And you spoke. I mean, Chad Kelly. They haven't even played a game yet, and so that's a young quarterback and a receiver quarterback combination there that still has to be tested. And so you could almost say that the Ticats and Bo Levi Mitchell have that advantage of, yeah, they came out with a loss to Winnipeg, but those are some plays that they've had a week now to say, hey, game speed's a little different. Yeah. Tim White, you can turn it on a little bit differently than I came to know in camp, and so we have a second chance here to try to hit some of those and connect on them.
The game has really changed. That first real game action for the Tiger Cats seemed to unveil a lot of things that they can improve on. Now, the Argos haven't played a game yet, but looking at training camp now, there's really no hitting. In practice, there's really no hitting. And all of a sudden, you get into a game, and there's real hitting. All these guys have been hit and given hits all their life, but just having it in a game. So do you think the Tiger Cats with one game under their belt, that's a benefit?
Well, where it might show up is in the turnovers. Early in that Winnipeg game, there was turnovers on both sides. In fact, the first offensive snap for the Blue Bombers, the Ticats forced a turnover. That first tackle of the season, it hurts more. It's different. You got to get used to that again. And The Argonauts are coming out here tonight without that game experience, and if I was Mark Washington's defense, especially Jeff Reinboldt's special teams units, I would be ball hawking. They say bring the hatchet, that that visual of a player's arm coming from above their head down onto the football. Really cue in on that in this game, because you've got an Argonaut defense that still has to get that shell shock of those early full collision plays out.
So the Tiger Cats and Argonauts are going to play. We're still a ways from kickoff. The Argonauts are unveiling their Grey Cup Championship banner. A blue banner with the Argos logo saying Grey Cup Champions 2022, and they've got an Argos balloon, and it's hovering over midfield right now. There's also a Canadian flag and an Argos flag on the field as the teams await this ceremony. And the Tiger Cats had this situation a couple of years ago in 2021 when they went to Winnipeg, had to watch the banner unveiled. Here it is again against the Argos. Went through the stats, Luke, and you and I have talked about how the Argos were good last year, but not dominant. And going through 72 statistical categories, and the Argos really weren't in the top half in very many of them. They were in the bottom half in the CFL in those 72 categories in 68% of them. And the Tiger Cats were better than the Argos in those 72 categories in 67% of them. So the Argos really peaked at the right time and did what they had to do to win games. It wasn't dominant, but it was a team effort and good when they had to be, and that was especially late in the season.
100%. That is really interesting. I mean, and the Ticats, I'll tell you, 2 statistical categories that they were not better than the Argonauts in. Of course, turnovers is the word that you're looking for there. And, you just can't outplay a negative turnover ratio. You're rarely going to find a team that wins a Grey Cup on a negative turnover ratio, and the Argonauts were flirting with it for much of the season last year as well. But you know what? That's kind of one of the beautiful things about the CFL. The Argonauts were not. No one was sitting here in June and July a year ago from now saying, "Oh, it's the Argonauts that are going to do this thing." That's just not the way the league was shaping up. But they played. They did what they had to do on the day. In November, they took care of business. They did what they had to do. And it's much more interesting to enjoy a league like that, as opposed to a league where you can just tell from the start that somebody's going to win and that's what happens. And so it's great, good for the Argonaut community and for the CFL that they were able to win a championship, but not exactly the standard formula.
No, definitely not, but it's the champions of 2022, the Toronto Argonauts. The Grey Cup is at BMO Field. It is a beautiful evening for football. 25 degrees, still nice and warm on this Father's Day. Sun is out, some shadows starting to form on the field, but the Argos, they gave out some replica rings. I was wondering if any Tiger Cats fans went to the game and were offered the replica ring going to the game and refused it.
It's kind of interesting, actually. I also imagine lots of them took it as well. It was probably a cool little thing
absolutely.
to have. Right.
It'd be a good keepsake, and it's really well done. So I'm sure there are a few that would not accept it as diehard Tiger Cats fans.
Well, we know there's a lot of them there tonight, for
Yes.
sure. A lot of the Ticat fans are at BMO Field for a beautiful night of football. And you and I talked about it in Ticats this week earlier, but I have so many great memories of BMO Field. I feel like I won there all the time.
Yeah.
Certainly way more frequently than I lost there, but in recent years, that's not been the case for the Ticats.
Yeah, you were talking on Ticats this week. Like, that trend has continued. They might have to sign you for these Toronto games, and you can come out of retirement, because they've lost 4 in a row, regular season games.
Yes.
At BMO Field, and overall 6 of their last 7 against the Argos. The big win, though, in the playoffs in the East Final in 2021, that allowed the Tiger Cats to advance to the Grey Cup Championship game. So they would like to put an end to that losing streak at BMO Field. The Argos, a few changes. I talked to Chris Edwards this week. He was instrumental for the Toronto Argonauts in their Grey Cup Championship. He already has a defensive touchdown for the Tiger Cats, and had a smile on his face when I asked him about that, and he said, "Oh yeah, there's more to come." When the defense scores, the team wins quite often. It was a strange game in Winnipeg. We saw a lot of things we might not see again, but Special teams, defense, offense, all got into the act for the Tiger Cats. Should mention no Seth Small in this game. He is on the suspended list, and we'll see if Seth comes back to the Tiger Cats. It was a great season for him last year, but the former Bomber, Mark Leggio, will be the kicker for the Tiger Cats tonight against the Toronto Argonauts. So another change there for the Tiger Cats. And no Lawrence Woods, but Leandre Gallimore was pretty fun to watch in the preseason.
Yeah, they end up with a little bit of depth at the returner position, and it was against Toronto that we saw Gallimore for the first time a few weeks back with a big return for a touchdown in preseason. And, it's beneficial for the Ticats that they've got another guy to fill in the big shoes of Lawrence Woods.
And Mark Leggio will be the first Tiger Cat to touch the ball. He's kicking it off. Argos will return. Both teams in monochromatic colors. Hamilton in all black with the gold numbers, and the Argos all in their light blue with the dark numbers. And Javon Leake on the kickoff will bring this just past the 45 along the near sideline, and out comes Chad Kelly. We'll get a look at him earlier.
Well, pretty good return there for the Argonauts. This is good starting field position to begin their home opener here on their own 44, and Chad Kelly a shorter field to try to put something together on his first drive.
Chad Kelly, 30 completions as a CFL quarterback. That includes 4 in the Grey Cup when he came in for the injured McLeod, Bethel Thompson, and led the Argos to victory. Play action, throws, it's tipped. And it looked like Malik Carney was the Tiger Cat who got a hand on it. It goes incomplete.
Yeah, Malik Carney on the defensive left edge there. He comes off and really great timing, gets his hands up into the passing lane. Great start for the Ticats defense, a 2nd and 10 right off the bat.
Tiger Cats, they'd like to get to Chad Kelly in this game. Only had 1 sack against Winnipeg, but it was a big one. Ted Laurent created a fumble. 2nd and 10 from the Toronto 44, and it looks like, the Argos were way offside, it appears, on the waggle.
What do you think? A little fan noise at BMO Field from the Ticats?
Maybe.
Fans?
Oh, yeah.
Offside. Toronto number 80. Replay, 2nd down.
Nice.
Well, that's a veteran, Tavares Daniels, so it's not a newcomer to the waggle.
Yeah. 2nd and 15, even better.
Very early on in this game, the Tiger Cats' 2nd game of the season. Nothing tougher than starting the first 2 games of the season on the road against the 2 teams that played in the Grey Cup Championship. Chad Kelly swings it off to the right. It is complete, but it's going to be short of the first down. That was complete to Cam Phillips.
Yeah, really cool. 2nd and 15 there. You saw the front 4 up in their normal position, and then everybody else, all 8 players, linebackers and DBs, back about 12, 15 yards because it was just a prevent, almost like the end of the half thing, and well executed.
Leandre Gallimore, number 81 for the Tiger Cats. Lawrence Woods on the 6-game injured list. That's a big blow for the Tiger Cats, but Leandre Gallimore getting an opportunity, and Coach O always talking about when that opportunity comes. Players are waiting for it. Take advantage of it. Haggerty's punt. This will send Gallimore to his left. He's outside the numbers. He catches it at the 5, and he's cornered. Pretty good kick and good downfield coverage by the Argonauts. 41-yard punt, and Gallimore looked up, and he had nowhere to go.
Really well-placed kick. I mean, that was right on the drag strip, those yard hashes right on the sidelines there, and good job to field it by Gallimore. That's the only thing you can do, right? Unless you want to try to let it go into the end zone and give up the single, but that was probably headed out of bounds and did as best he could, but this is not the ideal field position for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Gallimore will stay on the field at receiver. Bo Levi Mitchell, 17 for 33 in game 1 for 200 yards.
There was also a penalty on that return on Ticats, the receiving team.
55, guys, 55.
Yeah, that's pushed them a little bit further. The huddle for the Tiger Cats is a couple of yards into their own end zone, so they will start at their own 3-yard line. Long field here for Bo Levi Mitchell. In all black is number 19, hands off to James Butler, eludes 1 tackle, keeps his feet moving, and he squeezes out 2 or 3 yards with that run. Trying to give them a little breathing room from their goalposts.
Well, they had a big body personnel group in there. You see a bunch of guys leaving the field now. Bailey Feltmate, Dayton Black, and now they're going to get a passing set in here, but they're in a tough position. That Argonaut defense was quick to come up and fill those gaps on the run. There was no doubt in that linebacking core that they were running the ball.
8 of the 12 players who started the Grey Cup on defense for the Argos are different. Bo Levi Mitchell under pressure, and he just got rid of that football. He threw the ball to prevent the sack, which would have been a safety, and it's incomplete. And now the Tiger Cats have a tough spot here. Punt, or are they going to give up 2? They'll be deep in their own end zone for this.
Darius Pickett from his Sam linebacker position, along with others in that secondary, came right off the bat. I think it was cover 0 actually, RJ, that's an aggressive call down there. And boy, the Argonauts executed. That was a good 2 and out.
Well, they're probably going to have good field position, the defending champs here. Bailey Flint is about halfway to the back of the end zone for this punt. A quiet opening possession for the Tiger Cats. Flint gets the punt away, and Javon Lee catches it at the Tiger Cat 50s across the 45, the 40s, inside the 40, just a little bit short of the 35-yard line. Helmets go flying. Stavros Katsantonis in a shoving match as well. Argos, good field position. No score yet early in the game in Toronto. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Big rivalry in the CFL. The Argos and the Tiger Cats will meet 4 times in the regular season. Both of these teams have plans to win the East this year, so these head-to-head matchups are very important. Tiger Cats have lost 4 in a row at BMO Field in the regular season. They're in their all-black uniforms, Luke, and in these uniforms they've won 5 in a row. And since 2021, they're won 5 of their 6 games. Their only loss was against the Argos. That was by 1 game. But they've won 5 in a row in all black, and that's what they're wearing. A.J. Olette, he had the carry. Tiger Cats have the football. Tunde Adeleke, but they're saying he's down by contact.
Simone Lawrence, man, he came up from Will linebacker and filled off to the defensive right side. A.J. Olette just stopped right there.
That's a 3-yard gain, makes it 2nd and 7 for the Argos from the Hamilton 34-yard line. Great starting field position for the Argos. Looking for their first down. Chad Kelly back to pass. Throws to the right, wide open inside the 20, the 15, and finally brought down by Chris Edwards. It's Davaris Daniels, and that will be a first down for the Argos. But there is a flag, and the Argos.
Toronto number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Yeah, I was going to say the Argos aren't advancing down to where that play ended, so you kind of knew it was going to be against them.
Well, we talked about the penalties and the effect they had in the Winnipeg game last week. So now it's 1-to-1 penalties as we go through this game. But the Ticats, I mean, it was a 3-yard net loss maybe. It was half the distance of the goal. That is a very costly penalty for the Argonauts. Yes, it's a 10-yard penalty. In reality, it's a 30-yard net loss because they completed the pass, and damaging.
And at worst, they would have had a chip shot field goal. Now they've got to get a little something to make it at least manageable. Chad Kelly on the run, throws to the end zone. Oh, very nearly picked off by Dexter Lawson. He went up, broke up the play brilliantly. It was intended for Cam Phillips, but Lawson getting targeted. He was a late ad for the injured Lawrence Woods. Made a great play here.
Yeah, not a terrible throw, honestly. Chad Kelly did give his guy a chance to make the catch, but it was just a 50-50 ball there. Chad Kelly stepped up into the pocket and tried to take a shot down the field. And there's another 2 and out, of course, with a chance at a Boris Beatty field goal for Toronto.
So you talked about that yardage. This would have been about a 25-yarder at worst.
Timeout, Hamilton.
If there wasn't that penalty on the Argos. Now this one's a little bit longer. So they're on the Hamilton 44, and the Tiger Cats call a timeout.
So we're still it's so interesting. This game, the only positive play is the first return of the game for the Argonauts. That set this entire battle from there. We've just been going 2 and out, and the field position is the only thing getting traded back and forth. Definitely in favor of the Argonauts right now, just because of that first return. But one of these two offenses has to break the thing open and either put points on the board or flip the field.
So Boris Beatty is off the field after that timeout. They changed their mind. They're not going for the field goal. Hegarty on to punt to try to keep this field position battle in favor of the Argos. Gallimore drifting into his end zone, lets it bounce, and he'll give up the single point to get a little better field position. So the Tiger Cats in the preseason and regular season have now scored first in every game. Probably not the exact way they wanted to score first in this one, but it is a lead, 1-0. Tiger Cats ahead of the Argos early. Bo Levi Mitchell coming on the field with the offense when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats offense back on the field. Argos lead 1-0. It was a quiet first possession for the Tiger Cats. They were starting that one from their own 3. This is a little bit better. They'll start from their own 40. Shadows starting to get long on BMO Field. Sun is behind the Tiger Cats. Bo Levi Mitchell standing at his own 35 in the shotgun. Empty backfield, wants to pass, throws. No, it's not complete. It was intended for Tim White, and the ball ended up on the turf.
Well, they were at least able to get their heels off the goal line by allowing for the single. And, you know, this 2nd and 10 here, you know, if you fail to move the sticks all through this first quarter, you know, it's hard. As an offensive player, you get a little stagnant. I mean, there hasn't really been, you know, any positive production yet, and we're well into the first quarter.
The Argos are way offside. Costigan was almost to Bo Levi Mitchell, and he just stopped, knew the whistle was going to go.
Offside. Toronto number 97. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Thomas Costigan in his first season with the Argos. So that'll give the Tiger Cats a 2nd and 5 from their own 45.
Right to where that incomplete pass just fell to Tim White.
Yes, yeah, right where they would have been. First game of the season for the Argos. We saw some growing pains for the Tiger Cats. Argos showing some here. Bo Levi Mitchell trying to get the offense going. Throws over the middle. It is complete to Duke Williams. He was in heavy traffic. Argos tried to strip the ball. He didn't let it happen. It is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
So the Argonauts loaded up the box there. They showed they were going to bring everybody and then dropped out of it. And really great to see Bo Levi Mitchell just stay patient. He saw the blitz pull off, and he stayed in the pocket and waited for Duke Williams to come open across the middle.
Tiger Cats in Argos territory on the Toronto 49-yard line. Bo Levi Mitchell. That's his first completion. It's a big one to Duke Williams. James Butler gets the handoff, starts left, stops on a dime, then goes straight ahead. And he will get down to the 45 of the Argos, or at least very close to that. And Sean Oakman is down for the Argos. His helmet is off. Tiger Cat is down too. I think it's Coulter Woodmansey.
Well, you hate to see when all the players are urgently calling for the training staff to come out. I actually don't know which player they were referring to, but big collision in the middle there. And, you know, last week part of the story in Winnipeg was offensive linemen getting injured and a lot of mixing up that had to happen. Casey Sales coming in from his defensive tackle position to play offensive guard last week, and now it looks like Coulter Woodmansey is struggling to get off the field.
And that means Dayton Black, the Tiger Cats' first pick from this past draft out of the University of Saskatchewan, is likely going to see some live reps here in a CFL game. He played in the second preseason game against Montreal. Oakman able to run off the field under his own power. Coulter Woodmansey, laying on his left side, is just getting to his hands and knees and now to his feet now. We'll take a break as Coulter Woodmansey makes his way off the field. It's the Argos 1, the Tiger Cats nothing. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Just over 9 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Tiger Cats and Argos, the offenses have not been shining yet. 1 point in the game. The Argos have that. That helped the Tiger Cats get some better field position. They've moved it to the Argos 45-yard line. It's a 2nd and 6. Oh, Levi Mitchell back to pass, stayed in the pocket. Now he's got a scramble running to his left. He's going to keep it, and he takes a hard hit as he tried to slide. He's very close to the first down. He knew where he had to get. Where are they going to spot him? And they say it's a first down. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down.
It's a great run. They brought a lot of pressure. Surprised we didn't see a flag at the end there, actually.
I was wondering that too.
Pretty late on a Hall of Fame quarterback going for a slide. I don't know. But first down anyways. Good run, good timing there by Bo Levi Mitchell.
Fresh set of downs here for the Tiger Cats, now up to the Toronto 39-yard line. James Butler gets the handoff, runs left, takes a hit, and able to get another yard after that. Still waiting for James Butler to have that big run, break one.
Well, we're seeing a really loaded up box here. The Ticats have come out way more than usual with a tight end formation or even an extra lineman they've shown a couple times tonight. And the Argonauts, in response, they've got 5 up almost all these plays we've seen in the first quarter. In that run game, it was old-fashioned. It was like nobody doubted it was a run, and guys just head-butting from a 5-yard head start. It's a tough game.
3 yards for Butler on that run. 2nd and 7 from the Toronto 36. Bo Levi Mitchell passing and caught by Keandre Smith. Argos are saying he didn't catch it, but that is a fantastic job by Smith to hang on. Don't think it's going to be enough for a first down, though. It's close, about a yard short.
Bo Levi Mitchell staying on the field here, and they're lining up for the short yardage.
Keandre Smith had a couple of 2nd down receptions last game. This one here, he's turning into Bo Levi Mitchell's favorite 2nd down target. They need a yard for the first down, and Mitchell stays out there and gets what appears to be just enough. We'll see what the officials say, but he was able to advance it behind that offensive line. Looked like he was right behind Brandon Revenberg, the perennial all-star.
Great to see. I like that Bo Levi Mitchell took that short yardage, and they were trying to hurry up. There was I think everyone was expecting the possibility of a Ryan Dinwiddie challenge on the catch, because it was close to Keandre Smith there, close to a near drop, but great job operating that and moving the chains.
Tiger Cats keep it rolling with that first down presented by Active Green and Ross. Here they go again from the Toronto 28. Play action to Butler this time. Bo throws. It's caught again by Duke Williams, and he is across the 20, inside the 20. It's another first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. They're down to the 10.
Great timing. Bo Levi Mitchell, play action to the right. When he finishes that motion, he immediately gets this ball off to Duke Williams, who's curling behind Darius Pickett from the Sam linebacker spot. Just a deep cover 3 zone, and Duke just settles into that space. Really good timing, different than the misses that we were seeing in the first quarter of that Winnipeg game.
This drive started on the Hamilton 40. They've gone 8 plays, 60 yards, down to the Toronto 10. Bo Levi Mitchell fakes the handoff to Butler, rolls right, goes to the end zone. Oh no, it's picked off. Quantez Stiggers, the rookie, picked it off. Looked like Bo was maybe trying to throw it away, but Stiggers intercepted it.
Well, he got caught. He couldn't decide if he was throwing it away or giving Duke Williams a chance to make a play on it, and that went the wrong way. There was really nothing happening, and you just think Bo Levi Mitchell's gonna put it through the end zone.
A tough turnover for the Tiger Cats. They were down at the Argos 10, but a big interception by the Argos rookie. It is 1-0. Argos lead the Tiger Cats 5:22 in the first quarter. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Argos take over on their own 30-yard line with a 1-0 lead, and we've played almost 10 minutes of this football game, so not a lot of scoring. It looked like the Tiger Cats would get on the board. They were down to the Argos 10, but an interception by Quantez Stiggers, and that ended the Tiger Cats' promising drive.
Yeah, Bo thought he was kind of dumping it to an empty part of the end zone, but Quantez Stiggers, he was locked eyes, and he kind of anticipated that pretty well. But really the net yardage loss there is hugely damaging.
Argos might have a good one there. He's just 21 years old. A.J. Olette gets another crack at trying to run against this Tiger Cats defense. The run defense was #1 for the Tiger Cats last season, but they allowed 145 yards last season. Actually, that was Andrew Harris getting his first touch.
Simone Lawrence and Andrew Harris, they've met in contact at the line of scrimmage many times, and there was another one right there, but good job by the Ticats defense filling it and stopping.
Probably the least, we were talking about this before the game, least Andrew Harris has been talked about coming into a season in a long time. 2nd and 5 for the Argos from their own 35. Chad Kelly throws. He's got an open receiver. It is complete across midfield into Hamilton territory, caught by DeMonte Coxey.
Well, interesting concept there. That's to Chad Kelly's left, and you kind of have a classic CFL pattern, a dog or prop with a 5-yard out route from the inside guy and a go by the outside, but Coxey stops that. He gets into a little gap on his go route and just settles in that space, and Chad Kelly makes a great read.
On the Hamilton 49-yard line now. Handoff, this time it's to A.J. Olette. He was stopped in the backfield by Malik Carney, but he spun away, didn't go down, and now the Tiger Cats swarm him and push him back to midfield. So Carney, it would have been a big loss. It ended up being a pretty big loss thanks to a little help from the rest of the defense. That'll push them back 6 yards.
Catch a little sound there from Simone Lawrence, always energetic on the field.
Malik Carney's been involved heavily. He was tied for the team lead in quarterback sacks last season with 7. Already has a knockdown and nearly a tackle for a loss in the backfield. He just blew through that Argos offensive line. 2nd and 16 from midfield. Completion across the 50. Simone Lawrence right in on that tackle too. So is Malik Carney. Jameer Thurman. That was caught by Coxey as well. And that will get them close to the original line of scrimmage.
There's a flag way outside of where that play ended. I think it was Mason Bennett tangled up with an Argonaut after the whistle, and we'll see what this call ends up being. Still some discussion about what they saw, and they're marching it up the field, and that is, yeah, they're going to give 15 yards at the end of that play for another misconduct style penalty. We'll wait for here it comes.
Major foul, misconduct, 90 number Hamilton, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So we're going to look at Mason Bennett. He's clearly upset about something that happened out there, but this was way away from the whistle. That was 2nd and 15, and they allowed just what they were willing to allow, which was 7-yard gain. They were forcing the 3rd down, maybe a long field goal, and then that penalty, boy, so costly.
Here's a handoff to Olette. Malik Carney right there again in the face of Olette, and this time he was able to make the tackle. Casey Sales there as well, and Simone came flying in to help out.
Well, what a great example here of how damaging these kind of penalties are, because you've seen these. Chad Kelly hits a great pass down the field to start this drive. Since then, the Hamilton D has just suffocated each play here. Tackles for loss, tackle at the line of scrimmage, meaningless gain. You can't outplay a misconduct penalty. No matter how good you're playing, you can't overcome it.
Yeah, we saw that last game, and costly penalties again. 2.5 to go in the opening quarter. Chad Kelly throws, gets hit as he throws, completes the pass. There's 5 Ticats trying to get this ball loose from Davaris Daniels. They finally do, but I think the whistle had gone already, and there is another flag.
Major foul, roughing the pass. Half the distance, automatic, first down.
So a big hit on Chad Kelly as he threw it a little bit late. Chris Edwards, the former Argo, is the one who took the penalty. And all of a sudden, what looked like a pretty good job by the defense in stopping the Argos' drive. Couple of penalties, and Argos find themselves on the Hamilton 7. Ticats need a turnover like the Argos got. Chad Kelly wants to keep it, makes a move, got around Jagera Davis, dives into the end zone, It's a touchdown. Chad Kelly takes it in himself.
Yeah, nice read by Chad Kelly and makes Jagarrett Davis miss off to the defensive left there and scrambles his way into the end zone. I mean, unfortunately, RJ, the storyline right now is costly turnover in scoring territory with a major, yardage difference too. I mean, they came out of the end zone to the 30-yard line. A couple really impressive plays by Chad Kelly on that drive, combined with two very costly penalties. And there you go. Turnovers and penalties, lead to that Argonaut touchdown.
Boris Beatty steps on the field for his first convert attempt of the 2023 season. It is good. The Argos lead the Tiger Cats 8-0. Minute 52 to go in the opening quarter. Tiger Cats want to avoid being shut out in quarter number one. We saw they won the fourth quarter against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Last season they got off to great starts and didn't seem to finish too well. Last game against Winnipeg didn't start very well, but finished much better.
So you kind of isolate that interception, and apart from that, Bo Levi Mitchell looked impressive in that drive. He was making smart throws. He had a really well-timed, scramble for a first down. So you got to isolate, and you expect as much from a guy like Bo Levi Mitchell to be able to internalize that and isolate that interception. One bad decision, but repeat the successful drive that he was having and start that again. Last week, they got that game with Winnipeg back to a reasonable score with great special teams and defensive plays. And so Gallimore hopefully having a chance to get a good return here and maybe just give it a little bit of a jump start in field position to Bo Levi Mitchell.
8-0. Argos lead. They'll kick off to the Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats in all black going from left to right. Gallimore drifts back. He'll catch this at his own 3, right at the numbers. Cuts into the middle of the field. He's got a pretty good return developing here across the 35, the 40, and finally the Argos get a good angle on him and force him out of bounds, but catching it at his own 3 and taking it up across the 40. That's a nice return by Gallimore.
Yeah, well done. And he started this getting back to center field. He was on the right side of the numbers there, and he saw some space back to that right and did find the edge. Really great, really good return for what was a pretty deep kick.
Just over a minute and a half to go in the opening quarter. Tiger Cats would love to get something going. Argos have a lead, 8-0. Tiger Cats score here. They're right back in it. 3 receivers to the right of Bo Levi Mitchell. He throws that direction, completes the pass to Terry Godwin, and he'll get across the 45. Looks like they're going to spot him at the 46.
Yep, good. 5 yards on first down. You can win getting that repeatedly. And Bo Levi Mitchell again. He's calm. He finds the check down to the right, slipping out to the flat. Terry Godwin Jr. and they're off and running again.
Bo 12-1 in his career against the Argos. Maybe he's the secret to beating the Argos. We'll see how this game develops. Right now, Tiger Cats are in a hole. They haven't scored yet. Down by 8. 2nd and 5 from their own 46. Bo Levi Mitchell with time and a sidearm toss completes it to Tim White, who is coming back to his quarterback. And did he get enough for the first down? He didn't. He's going to be just a little bit short. And what is it, about a yard and a half, Luke? Just a little too much to go for.
Too much. You're back on your own 48-yard line. That's a mesh concept, so 2 receivers crossing each other very low over the middle. The problem is that as that play continues and gets out towards the flats of those cross, they start to drift back. So it takes a long time to develop, and then it was a meaningless gain, 2 or 3 yards, just because it takes so long to get back down to those guys.
Bailey Flint, the rookie punter for the Tiger Cats from Melbourne, Australia, trying to shift this field position battle. Javon Leake takes it at his own 12 and gets up to maybe the 15 or 16, and the Tiger Cats bring him down there. And looked like some of the Argos were starting to get hot, and a couple of teammates pulled them out before any penalty flags flew.
Well, the collisions are amplified in special teams. It's just everybody's running full speed down the field, and there was a lot of bodies flying around at the end of that play. Good punt, though. Good job at least flipping that field from drive to drive here and giving Chad Kelly a pretty long field to work on. But you cannot take penalties down the field here. You just can't do it.
Well, we've seen it haunt the Tiger Cats last game and already in this game. Chad Kelly seems to be heating up. First 2 drives, Argos went 8 plays for just 6 yards. Last drive, 7 plays, 57 yards, resulted in a touchdown. Play action, and this ball is loose. Jagara Davis picks it up. Javian Elliott threw the big hit, but it's incomplete. I believe it was Cam Phillips trying to make the catch, but he could not. Javian Elliott with a big hit, brought to you by My Insurance Broker. And that's the end of the opening quarter. The Tiger Cats did not score. They trail the Argos 8-0. We'll be back with the second quarter on the Ticats Audio Network. Nice to have you with us on Father's Day. Beautiful evening in Toronto. We're through 1 quarter of play between these 2 rivals, and the Argos lead the Tiger Cats 8-0. First quarter, Luke, has not been good for the Tiger Cats so far in 2023. In the 2 games, they've been outscored 29-4. Here's a quarterback sack. It's Chris Edwards getting after his former team, and he is doing a little talking. That's a big sack for the Tiger Cats as we start the second quarter. Maybe the second quarter will be better than that first quarter's been.
Well, like that, and that last play of the first quarter when Javian Elliott put on a big hit, and if you keep doing that, they called it incomplete, but it was just a fraction of a second away from being a fumble. And if you keep doing that, you will get some. That was a great 2-and-out by Mark Washington's defense.
Chris Edwards, his first sack as a Hamilton Tiger Cat. That big hit brought to you by My Insurance Broker. Haggerty's punt way up in the air. Gallimore gets it inside center, and he gets across into Argos territory, down to the Argos 45, or maybe they're going to spot him at the 46, but it's good field position here for the Tiger Cats.
At least 1 drive across the center line. That's what you're trying to do as a special teams unit for your offense, and here we are in the second quarter. Only 46 yards to go to put points on the board. I like how Gallimore's been returning these punts and kicks. He's making a little bit more than you expect as you watch the play live.
I think Bo Levi Mitchell started with a tinted visor. He's now got a clear visor, or somewhat clear, so Drew Stroshine doing his thing on the sidelines for the Tiger Cats, making adjustments that need to be done. James Butler got to the line and made his decision to cut left, and he'll jump ahead. Looks like he got close to 5 on that run.
Well, taking advantage of these reps where the Argonaut defense is not loaded up on in their front rush. Standard 4-man rush there, but still those guys are big in that Argonaut defense, and that's hard to move those guys around. James Butler, you know, he's not been finding just clear holes, right? He's kind of skipping and jumping to get a few yards here and there.
Hamilton needs 6 to get the first down. They're on the Toronto 42. They'd like to move this ball a little more. Pressure coming to Bo Levi Mitchell. He throws, he completes it to Keandre Smith, the second down specialist, and he converts the first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Second time we've seen Keandre Smith have a great reception across the middle there, and that was Jordan Williams, the Mike linebacker for the Argonauts, who was closest to being able to make that play, but Bo Levi Mitchell so comfortable with his ball flight and the timing of that under coverage, and he got it there right where it needed to be.
Another Tiger Cat down. Joel Figueroa has to leave, and now we've got an offensive line issue. His shoe looks like it came right off his foot. He's carrying his shoe in his left hand, his left shoe.
So here's the problem. He's not injured, but the game stopped for him, and he has to leave for 3 plays.
Yes.
And the Ticats already have a shortage of offensive linemen, so
well, we've got 59, I believe, is the number. It's likely Casey Sales, who had to throw on a number that qualifies for the offensive line. That's who came in last game when injuries mounted on the offensive line.
Well, we'll see if this plays a difference in this drive. It's really poor timing.
It's a first down for the Tiger Cats from the Toronto 30. James Butler trying to follow that offensive line that's held together by some Band-Aids, and he'll get a couple of yards off to the left.
It is Casey Sales who's had to step in here. And, you know, I mean, just as they're starting to put this together, it's not easy to have that, to mix up these positions, just even if it's just for 3 plays. 29-yard line here, and they've got a 2nd and 9 they're looking at. Got to get points on this drive.
Dayton Black seeing his first CFL action. He came in at right guard for Coulter Woodmansey. He's now at left guard, and it looks like Brandon Revenberg's at left tackle. Foley by Mitchell, screen pass complete to James Butler, and he's got a chance. He's across the 15, down to the 10. Wow. Argos finally bring him down. It is a first down, though, presented by Active Green and Ross. Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
You know, it's just great to see. It was a really well-timed screen, running back screen to the right side, and what that means is the offensive lineman pass set and then sprint out there, and guess who it was? Casey Sales,
of course,
who's in here to fill in. He takes a little pass drop and then sprints out to be the blocker in the open. He does a great job of it. He set the edge and really well executed by a makeshift offensive line.
Because he understands the defense.
Oh, you're right. Maybe.
Well, the Tiger Cats, despite some injuries to their offensive line and guys moving around, David Beard at center. Handoff goes to James Butler, gets down to the 5, breaks a tackle, touchdown, Tiger Cats! James Butler, his 2nd in as many games, and the Tiger Cats are right there in the 2nd quarter.
Well done, James Butler. Man, he looks like a 1,000-yard rusher. He's breaking tackles and changing directions. Jump cut, and he was not going to get stopped before crossing that goal line. Great job by the Ticats offense answering here.
So the Tiger Cats will go for 2 to try to tie the game. Argos had a single on a Haggerty punt and a touchdown. Chad Kelly, a quarterback keeper. Here, James Butler scores the touchdown. Tiger Cats, they did score a 2-point convert against Winnipeg. Butler gets the handoff, and this time he's not going to get in. The Argos were on him right away. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, so the Tiger Cats will have to settle for 6 on that play, but it is a Ticats touchdown presented by Terkstra Lumber. The Argos still lead in the 2nd quarter, 8-6, 10:29 to go in the half. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats get their first touchdown of the game. James Butler runs it in. He was instrumental on that drive. It was a 46-yard touchdown drive. Butler contributed 34 of those yards, catching and running. Ends in his 2nd touchdown as a Hamilton Tiger Cat. It's 8-6. Tiger Cats failed on the 2-point convert. They're 1 for 4 on 2-pointers in this young season, just over 5 quarters into the season. Mark Leggio's kickoff. It's a good one, right down to the 1. Javon Leak across the 10, sidesteps 1 tackle. Now he's backtracking, and that's a mistake. Carthel Flowers Lloyd. He has been all over the place on special teams, making a name for himself, makes the special teams tackle.
Will Sunderland was the first one down the field and just did a great job stopping the feet of the returner. He was coming right at him. He didn't pick an edge, and he made that returner come to a full split stance, and that just kills a return right there. You have to get your speed and maintain it as a returner, and a really great job on an aggressive cover by Will Sunderland.
Tiger Cats winning the field position battle. Argos are going to start this drive from their own 17-yard line. Chad Kelly, lots of time, waits, spots an open receiver. Wide open, it's Curly Gittens with his first catch of 2023. He was the Argos leading receiver last season, and he is across the 40-yard line.
You're right. Chad Kelly did have a ton of time. They had an 8-man protection back there. That's just 3 receivers running the routes down the field, and it looked like the Ticats had it all covered down, but there's so much time that it's hard to keep track of everybody in a zone coverage when the play is just developing, and Curly Gittens Jr. finds it.
Ball on the Argos 41. Fake handoff to Ouellette. Kelly runs to his right, throws on the run, completes it to Tavares Daniels, and this has happened to Daniels a couple of times in the game. Hasn't been taken down. The Tiger Cats are just trying to get that football away from him. They weren't able to here. It's another first down for the Argos across the 50. A lot of ball security drills for the Tiger Cats and takeaway drills in practice this week. They were trying to get that ball loose. Toronto from their own 53. It's a handoff to Ouellette, his biggest run of this game, and that was straight up the gut. And he'll be very close to a first down. Ouellette, big runner, tough to bring down. And the Tiger Cats run defense, they've been known for that for a while. So good last year. Ouellette gets a pretty good run there. So now the Argos up by 2 with 8.5 minutes to go in the half. They're in Hamilton territory. It's a 2nd and 1. Ouellette gets it again, breaks one tackle. And he's tough to bring down one-on-one. Jagera Davis tried to do it, needed a little help from big Mo Diallo.
Yeah, it took a couple there, but they ended up coming in and stopping it for just a small gain. The Argonauts, I kind of appreciate their balance of the pass and run here. I mean, we've seen a good handful of both. Chad Kelly's thrown from the pocket. He's thrown from the move. They're moving the ball down the field creatively.
So the Argos are just short. They're going to measure to see how short they are here on 3rd down. Initially, the officials said it's 3rd down, but now they measure, and it is a first down by the nose of the football. So Ouellette, a couple of hard runs to get another Argos first down. Argos taking time off the clock and moving the football. Down to the Hamilton 47-yard line now. Just over 8 minutes to go in the half. 8-6, Argos lead the Tiger Cats. It's been a low-scoring half. Ouellette again, and Carney had him for a minute. He broke away from that tackle, and Ouellette has turned this into a large gain across the 35 down to about the 33-yard line, and another Argos first down.
He is. He's hard to bring down, and he won't give up until you've actually forced him to the ground. The arms just tend to fall off of him, and he's a big, strong runner. That could have easily been a 2nd and 10 scenario for the Argonauts, and instead it's 1st and 10 on the Ticat 32.
Ouellette gained 13 yards after that initial contact. So another first down from the Hamilton 32. Kelly steps back, completes the pass to Coxie, and got away from Javian Elliott. Then makes a move on Richard Leonard, and Elliott, he knew he missed that tackle early on, so he was coming back, and he finally did make the tackle, but Coxie and the Argos are down to the Hamilton 10.
Just inches on every play of this drive, right? Almost a near tackle here, a near tackle there, a near pass breakup, but instead, most of these inches are going Argonaut way and turning into some meaningful gains.
Under 7 minutes to go. Argos in business here. 1st and goal from the Hamilton 10. Chad Kelly fakes the pitch to Ouellette. Rolls to his right, throws on the run. It's caught by Gittins, but he caught it out of bounds. He jumped up to get it and could not land in bounds.
Chad Kelly probably is going to call that one a little bit of a miss. It looked like they had the time and space for it, but he really threw a laser in there, a little too high and too hot, when it really could have been down lower to that front pylon.
He was open
for a touchdown, yeah.
Gittins was definitely open, but it is 2nd and goal from the Hamilton 10. Chad Kelly, 3 receivers to his right. He's under pressure. Mo Diallo sacks him for a huge loss, and it's a quarterback sack, but there is a flag.
We'll see it. It's in the location and timing that would be a holding call. But Mo Diallo, excuse me, great pressure off the edge.
And this could be huge for the Tiger Cats if this penalty isn't against them. Well, I feel like I heard automatic first down.
We have 2 flags on the play. Holding, Hamilton 66. Sorry, Toronto 66. Major foul, roughing the quarterback, face mask, Hamilton. We'll go up 5 yards, automatic, first down.
So now it's on the Hamilton 5, first and goal.
Again, the story of inches on this drive. That's Mo Diallo wins the play. He does his job. It's a hand placement that's just ever so slightly too high and results in a crucial loss.
And it was just for a second. He did let go. A.J. Ouellette tries to battle his way to the end zone. Looks like he'll get 3 or 4 and get down at the Hamilton 1-yard line. Second and goal from the 1 for the Argos. They've eaten a lot of time off the clock in this drive and a lot of field position. Chad Kelly heading to the sideline. In comes rookie quarterback Cameron Dukes. We saw him a bit in the preseason, and he's a creative guy.
Saw 2 great short yardage stops back-to-back in Winnipeg last week from the Hamilton defense.
Toronto started this drive on their own 17. Their second and goal from the Hamilton 1. Dukes jumps up. He was stopped at the goal line. Now they're pulling him back, and he's battling to get back into the end zone. Might have been Simone Lawrence who jumped up, and no signal from the officials. Tiger Cats might have just thrown up a wall on that goal line. Yeah, Simone Lawrence came through and stopped Dukes. Timed it perfectly.
Man, the Ticats early in the season are showing they are tough with this short yardage. And if here's another shot at it right now, but to go 2 weeks in a row with a double short yardage stop would just be an unbelievable accomplishment.
They did it to Winnipeg, stopping them twice. They've got to do it again here. Chad Kelly back in at quarterback. Third and goal from the 1. Kelly battling. And that second, third, maybe fourth effort. He kept the feet moving. Tiger Cats initially had stopped him, but he rolls into the end zone. And Chad Kelly has both of the Argos touchdowns in this game. Tough to stop a team twice from the 1.
Well, you got the Argonauts were driving down the field at their own will and by their own right. I mean, but this drive was put to stop. I mean, the Ticats did what they had to do to end this drive, with the exception of a crucial penalty again. You can't outplay it.
Penalties have really turned into a problem here in the first 2 games for the Tiger Cats. It's 14-6, Argos lead. Boris Beatty on for another point. The convert is good. So it's 15-6. The Argos lead the Tiger Cats. There's 4:22 to go in the opening half. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Good to have you with us. Toronto, the site for the second regular season game for the Tiger Cats. Back-to-back road games to begin the season, and the Argos lead 15-6. Not a lot of time to go in the opening half. 4:22. RJ Broadhead with Luke Tasker. Argos fresh off a touchdown drive. They went 11 plays, 93 yards, took over 6 minutes off the clock. Tiger Cats are going to need a drive like that to get a little closer here before the end of the half. Leandre Gallimore back to return the Boris Beatty kickoff. Lawrence Woods, just before the game on Saturday, placed on the 6-game injured list. That's a big loss for the Tiger Cats. We hope to see Lawrence back soon. Leandre Gallimore, he's a great returner, though. Runs to his right, goes outside the numbers, and he's across the 40-yard line. Another good return for Leandre Gallimore.
Yeah, again, he's doing his job, and I've been impressed with him on the punts, punt returns, and the kick returns. And across the 40, that's you can win doing that repeatedly.
We'll take another break. There's 4:14 to go in the half. Argos lead the Tiger Cats 15-6. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats offense on the field. Bo Levi Mitchell trying to get a little something going. Trailing 15-6. Takes the handoff to Butler. Throws. Oh, wow. An amazing catch. Terry Godwin does it again with one hand. He hauls it in. And it is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
That was a really good one. It almost actually surprised him. Bo Levi Mitchell releases this really early in Godwin's break, but man, he snagged that with one hand coming from right to left across the middle.
Talked to him about his last one. He said, hey, I've done that multiple times in college. He's getting a reputation. If it is within his range, he's going to catch it, even if it has to be with one hand. Into Toronto territory on the Argos 51. Bo slings this out to the right to James Butler, and he'll get across the line of scrimmage, across the 50, just a little short of the 45.
Bailey Feltmate through the line of scrimmage and up into that right side into the flat, blocking out there as Bo Levi Mitchell drops it down. A nice job making something out of what was really a heavy pressure from Toronto and could have easily been a play for a loss there.
Under 3 minutes to go in the half, so this will be the last play before the 3-minute warning. Tiger Cats, they got a little momentum here, down to the Toronto 48 after a great catch by Terry Godwin. Mitchell throws again. It might have been tipped. It was wobbling, but Duke Williams makes the catch. Little celebration, shows with his hands over his head that it's a first down, and he's right. First down presented by Active Green and Ross. Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Little basketball dribble through his legs, and he flipped it to the ref behind his back. Really great throw there by Bo Levi Mitchell.
2:38 to go. We're at the 3-minute warning. Tiger Cats having one of their best drives of the game. They need it. They're down 15-6. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network.
Ticats Audio Network.
Getting close to halftime. 2 minutes 38 seconds to go. The Argos lead the Tiger Cats 15-6. But Bo Levi Mitchell has put together a great drive here. Tiger Cats have moved the ball down to the Argos 30. On this drive, Terry Godwin had an acrobatic one-handed catch. Duke Williams made the most recent reception. First down, Tiger Cats on that Toronto 30. Here's James Butler, runs to his left and had some blocking out there. A gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
Well, again, it's a gain into a really heavy front from the Argonauts. I mean, they're doing a decent job moving the ball, at least against a really loaded up box. Duke Williams came in and added into that run block effort, and a doable 2nd and 5 there. It's a good gain into a heavy defense.
Second down for the Tiger Cats. Will Keandre Smith be targeted? He has been a second down favorite for Bo Levi Mitchell. Of his 6 receptions, 4 of them have come on second down. Mitchell is back to pass, looking end zone. It's picked off. It's picked off again. Amos catches this one in the end zone. Second time in this game that there's been an interception by the Argos in the end zone.
Yeah, and the second time that you're well within field goal range, right? So you can kind of assume that 6 points lost from the Ticats, and that's just if they settle for the field goal. That, of course, was second down, so it would have been a field goal situation there. But yeah, leaving points on the board, you've got to at halftime reset this thing. You've already earned them. You're already there for them, and with your field position, you've got to be able to take them. And that was just an errant throw, bad placement.
Last time, the interception in the end zone by Quantez Stiggers, the 21-year-old rookie, and Argos turned that into 7 points. The fact the Tiger Cats were looking at points kind of turns into more. Here again, Tiger Cats in a good spot, and Chad Kelly trying to burn him, and he completes it to Coxie, who got behind Dexter Lawson, who's making his Tiger Cats debut in the regular season, and the Argos are down near the Hamilton 20-yard line, and still tons of time. 1:40 to go.
This was really delayed. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to the protection for the Argonauts. Chad Kelly sits back there for a long time, and Coxie wasn't even really expecting to get that ball deep down the sideline. It was a really delayed play, but a huge gain for the Argonauts.
Coxie having a big game, 4 catches for 116 yards. That one was massive. Argos started from their own 30. Now they're down to the Hamilton 21. Chad Kelly throws toward the end zone. Richard Leonard, the veteran, he's able to knock that down.
I'm not sure we've seen very many errant throws from Chad Kelly tonight. He's really got poise and making good decisions. That one was errant and could have easily been a turnover in the Ticats' favor. Good breakup, though, by Richard Leonard.
Richard Leonard, always so consistent. Had a fumble recovery in the last game. 2nd and 10 from the Hamilton 21. Argos lead by 9. Trying to extend that lead late in the half, just over a minute to go. Kelly completes the pass. It's Coxey again. He's inside the 10, breaks a tackle, and Jameer Thurman, the middle linebacker, goes over to that far sideline to help out and make the tackle.
Again, Kelly patient with a lot of time in the pocket. He's sitting there very comfortably, able to move his eyes across the field, and the Ticats are going to have to find a way to change that because he's really doing a great job of seeing things develop and finding his man.
Ball on the Hamilton 8. Under a minute to go. Chad Kelly trying to orchestrate another touchdown drive. Hands off to Ouellette, and he likes running right up the middle. Gets this ball down to the Hamilton 1 or 2 yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal, 45 seconds to go in the half.
Another short yardage chance here for the Ticats defense. A lot of great stops, but unfortunately they're right back where they were just a few minutes ago with a huge throw down the field from Chad Kelly.
Ball is on the Hamilton 1 yard line.
A little extra room here too. This is a longer short yardage, which is good for the Ticats. They're not quite to the 1 yard line yet. Every
inches away.
Every inch matters with these short yardage.
So Chad
plays.
Kelly runs to his left, and it's a big first half for Chad Kelly, his 3rd touchdown. And the Argos have a big lead. That puts them up 21-6, and they've got a convert coming.
Well, 2 of their touchdowns, off of turnovers there, but almost not totally a fair statistic because they still ran the whole length of the field, right? I mean, after that interception in the end zone, they put together a standard drive with it, starting with that enormous play downfield. But the Ticats have got to take advantage of the points when they're in range to get them.
Boris Beatty trying to tack one more on to this Argos lead. And the convert is good. 22-6. The Argos lead the Tiger Cats. Some untimely penalties, some turnovers, and that's led to Argos points. A couple of issues that the Tiger Cats had in game 1 are haunting them in the first half of game 2. Fourteen of the Argos' 22 points have been off turnovers. 23 seconds to go in this opening half. Tiger Cats will have another crack here.
Well, you got to give credit to Chad Kelly. He had 45 passing attempts in his career coming into this game, and he does not look like a young or nervous or any of those negative terms for a young quarterback struggling to find his way. No, he looks poised and taking advantage of every opportunity that he can find.
He's completed 9 of 14 passes in this game, but it's been carrying the ball that's been the key for him with those 3 touchdowns. Leandre Gallimore. We've seen some great returns by the Tiger Cats over the years. Let's see Gallimore. This is a good kickoff by Beatty inside his own 5. Gallimore goes straight ahead, now runs to his left, tries to cut back up the middle. He's brought down just across the 20-yard line. Maybe got to the 22 or 23.
17 seconds left. You're probably not really going to try to do too much here. And this team goes in at halftime, RJ. There's a couple obvious things to fix. Number one, you've turned the ball over twice in the scoring zone. That's the major issue. They've kind of calmed down with their penalties as the second quarter has continued. They've got to find a way to get some pressure on Chad Kelly, though. He is doing a really great job of staying calm, and you've got to disrupt his rhythm.
Tiger Cats begin this drive on their own 23. Not a lot of time to go in the half. They'll keep it on the ground. James Butler following the offensive line, and the Argos have to swarm tackle him. Never did bring him to the ground, but the whistle goes after his forward momentum was stopped. Got about 2 yards, so a 2nd and 8 here for the Tiger Cats. 11 seconds remaining in the half. Another tough half. Tiger Cats trailed 29-4 against Winnipeg last week. It's 22-6 here in Toronto. Last play of the opening half. Bo Levi Mitchell hands off to Butler again, and he'll get across the 30. Argos bring him down, running straight up the middle. And the half is complete. The Tiger Cats 22-6. Those points off turnovers have been a major factor. Chad Kelly with 3 touchdowns, and the Tiger Cats are going to have to regroup at halftime and try to make a comeback like they did in Winnipeg. It's not as much of a deficit as it was last week, but it's still not very comfortable, down 22-6.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a broken record of this turnover storyline, but it's also a good thing when you can find the answer to the problem. Because if it's not so obvious, well, you're probably just not as good as a team as who you're going up against. And the Ticats still have some self-inflicted wounds to get away from. Mainly the game's entirely different if the Ticats, not even if you convert touchdowns. Of course, there's still work to have been done. But even if you can just get points and not turn the ball over, the game looks very different. And that's just self-inflicted wounds. Defensively, though, Chad Kelly's playing really well right now. And I'm not going to be surprised if we see Mark Washington firstly add a little bit more pressure and tighten up those coverages. Get right up in there, run some man, and make it disrupt some of these concepts down the field. Too often we've seen Kelly standing there with time, scanning his eyes, and then finding somebody who's effectively all alone, who's just drifted into a quiet area of a zone coverage. I don't think Mark Washington's going to continue to allow that sort of methodical, giving up yards down the field, and we'll see a little bit more aggressive call, I'm sure.
2 rookie corners for the Tiger Cats, and the Argos, they lead 22-6. Tiger Cats at the half, presented by My Insurance Broker with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantus, is next on the Ticats Audio Network.
You're listening to Tiger Cats at the half.
Hamilton Tiger Cats in comeback mode going into the second half. Down 22-6 to the Toronto Argonauts. Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantus here. This is Tiger Cats at the half, presented by My Insurance Broker. And Andy, some of the repeating things that we saw in week 1, we are seeing again in week 2, and are a major reason why the Tiger Cats find themselves down by 22-6 mark.
Yeah, it's a 16-point game, but it's a tight matchup out there, and this game is there for them. I thought in the first half, other than 2 plays, Bo Levi has been night and day compared to last week. He's been on point. He's 10 out of 14, and 2 of those incompletions were interceptions, and one of them was a throwaway, and one of them was a drop pass. So essentially, he hasn't really missed, but other than those 2 very careless errors, and tried to throw the first interception away and just didn't get enough on it. And then the second interception, he kind of overlooked James Butler in the flat and threw a ball into double coverage where there was really no chance of Kanowski coming up with it. You know, you talk, I can't help but think of the power of complementary football. You hear that term all the time. And for the Ticats, they had the end of the first quarter, they had a huge hit by Javion Elliott that was almost a fumble, followed up the first play of the second quarter by a sack by Chris Edwards. What happens? A punt, the offense goes all the way down and scores a touchdown. You go on the other side of the ball, and that nice drive by Bo Levi ends in the interception that the Argos start at the 30, take it all the way down for a score. That happened again right at the end of that second half. An interception, they go all the way down and score, and then in the middle of that, there was the drive where Mason Bennett took the misconduct foul, and then Chris Edwards had a roughing the passer foul, and they scored on that one. And the Mo Diallo roughing the passer when they had the Argos stopped on their own, in the scoring zone. Another just again, it's there for the taking, and it's just the power of that complementary football and those swings, those momentum swings from one or two key plays that have really been the difference in this game.
Let's run through the scoring in this contest so far. Tiger Cats give up a single. Gallimore gives up the single, 1-0. Toronto. Then Toronto go up 8-0 off a 7-play, 57-yard drive capped off by just a sweet-looking run by Chad Kelly. Made a nice move on Davis to get into the end zone. You know what? And then you talk about those penalties. That touchdown drive was complemented by 2 rough play misconduct penalties for the Tiger Cats. Again, points off turnover is a factor on that one. In the second quarter, James Butler cashes in from 10 yards out, missed 2-point conversion. Tiger Cats tighten it up at 8-6, and it was a great drive, I thought, Andy, because the O-line on that particular drive was all battered and pieced together. A couple of guys that shouldn't even be in there were in there, and a nice looking screenplay, 19-yard gain by James Butler out of the hands of Bo Levi Mitchell. But then the Argonauts respond quickly, though, and go 15-6 on a quarterback sneak, capping an 11-play, 93-yard drive, which was, again, complemented and extended by the likes of a face mask by Mo Diallo. And then they get the ball back right at the end of the half there, a 5-play, 85-yard drive, 59-yard connection from Kelly to DeMonte Coxey, and then it's Kelly with the quarterback sneak. So there we are, 14 points off turnovers. As we talked about earlier, the penalties assisting drives for the Argonauts, and as we saw in the Winnipeg game, kind of the same issues that they have to deal with in the first half, but again, lean on the positives of the second half of that week 1 loss, and they were in comeback mode. But I do like what you said there about Bo Levi. He looks to be, and I like the play calling is improved and more complimentary, and you're getting Duke Williams involved in the game too. Tim White, a bit of a no-show so far.
Yeah, he had that early drop, and he's only had the one catch, I believe, but I like the game plan. I like the execution for the most part by the Cats, other than those 2 errant throws and the penalties. These are all issues we kind of touched on pregame. We talked about the O-line, what's going to happen, and you know, sure enough, Coulter Woodmansey goes down, and then they're short. Joel Figueroa had to come out, and again, Casey Sales is playing. We talked about that. Sure tackling. The Ticats have done a really good job of tackling for the most part, but the big back-breaking sort of drive extenders have been off missed tackles. They had Ouellette in the backfield twice that he extended, one for a first down and one to be first and goal at the 1. And then of course, Kelly, Jagarrett Davis had him kind of one-on-one in open space, and it's hard to expect a defensive lineman to take down a world-class athlete like that in one-on-one, but those are the issues we sort of touched on. And but yeah, going back to your point though, like getting the ball spread around for Bo, getting it out of his hands early, getting all the receivers involved, it's been pleasant to see. And you and I were sitting there talking through the first quarter, like, come on, let's see a screen pass, right? Like that. On second down, the Argos are coming with the pressures, cover 0 or just a 1 or 2 man blitz, and then they finally hit it, and they ended up scoring on that drive. So I like the commitment to the run by the Cats, and I like the spreading the ball around. They just have to really clean up these self-inflicted errors, and they would be right in this game, and they still are in this game. I think they can come back.
If we look at the interceptions that were thrown by Bo Levi, and I know that's going to be the talk through the first half, the one to Turnowski, maybe a bad decision with 2 guys in there. And then the first one, though, kind of a strange decision, though, with pressure on him.
It looked like it was a planned scrape, and what that means is there was a receiver coming from the far side of the field across behind the lineman, behind the line of scrimmage, and the Duke Williams didn't essentially run a route. He was just out 5 yards downfield blocking, so his back was to the quarterback as Bo Levi was running out, but the scrape was well covered. So in that instance, he needs to throw it at someone's feet, throw it out of bounds, or run the ball. And I thought he could have probably extended a little bit more before he made that decision, and maybe somebody would have turned around and been open. But if he's going to throw it away, that was just he just needs to throw it into the stands. shouldn't even be close.
Well, like you said, 14 points off the turnovers, and that's going to be a big factor to that 22-6 score that's up there. Now, let's moving forward. What do you do to try and get yourself back into this ball game?
I think you keep playing the way you're playing. I think their special teams have been playing well. Their defense is being physical. I think I like what Luke said about maybe switching up and playing a little more man-to-man, because there have been receivers wide open for Chad Kelly and trying to get a little bit more pressure. So maybe a bit more aggressive defensively, but offensively, I like the pace. I like their the different kinds of plays. I like their variety, and I think, you know, if they weren't for the turnovers, they'd have somewhere between 12 to 20 points right now, and it would be a respectable first half.
What's with this Terry Godwin with his he's like Spider-Man at times.
Yeah, that looked incredible live, that catch, and it was incredible. It's just as soon as he ran that slant, as soon as he turned, the ball was up and away from him, and he extended, you know, coming into the middle. It's not an easy thing to do when, you know, there's people coming in there to sort of take your head off. So great catch, and it'd be nice to see them target him a bit more and see if he can make an impact.
RJ kind of brought this up during the game, and we are seeing the development of a Keandre Smith is coming up big and making big catches in traffic at key times in the game.
Yes, and it goes back, some good reads by Bo Levi, some nice throws down the middle, both to Keandre and Duke in traffic, and they both have been coming up with big catches. I like this kid a lot, Keandre Smith. He plays with fire. He's got decent size and strength, and just has that grit to him, and so I love seeing him involved. And you know, you got to get Ternowski involved and Godwin a bit more, and then of course we got Tim White in our back pocket who we're waiting to see him give a spark.
Tiger Cats put up 27 points in that comeback loss to the Blue Bombers. Going to have to see something like that again at BMO Field this evening. You've been listening to Tiger Cats at the Half, presented by My Insurance Broker. Andy Fantuz and myself will be back at the conclusion of this one. Let's send it right back to RJ and Luke for the broadcast booth on the Ticats Audio Network.
Available live at listen.ticats.ca and on the Ticats All Access app. This is the Ticats Audio Network.
Welcome back. BMO Field, second half. Tiger Cats are going to get the football. The kickoff caught by Leandre Gallimore. He's across the 20 to 25. Now he's trying to get to the outside, running to the far side of the field, and he ran a long way to get to this near sideline, actually, and he'll be just short of the 45, so a lot of running. Pretty good return by Gallimore.
Yeah, he's working hard. He's trying to find an edge, and he ends that play putting his shoulder down and with a physical falling forward again just past the 40. He's done it a couple times, and I've been impressed with him.
He could have just got around the Argos. That would have been pretty massive gain. Here's Bo Levi Mitchell on the field. 22-6, Tiger Cats trail, and oh man, that first pass was very nearly picked off by Pickett. Darius Pickett couldn't hang on.
Yeah, not a great decision there to start from Bo either. I think it was Duke Williams coming across from right to left, and boy, that could have been a horrible start to the third quarter.
Bo Levi Mitchell, 10 for 15 in the opening half, 118 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That one goes as an incompletion. 2nd and 10 from their own 42. Bo Levi Mitchell taps his right foot, high snap. Catches it with one hand, stays in the pocket, finds the open receiver. It'll be short of the first down. It was caught by Tyler Ternowski.
You know, and the pocket is collapsing. These Argonauts do have a good rush, and Bo, nothing available right to start, and he has to step up and kind of sneak out to find his check down there. And at times he's been uncomfortable in this game. That return is setting this up. That was a great return to give them the ability to flip this field with the punt.
Bailey Flint. It's a good punt. Jamon Leake at his own 10. At the far numbers, he'll run straight ahead, won't get to the 20. All kinds of Tiger Cats flying in there on special teams to make the tackle.
Man, the end of these special teams plays have been physical.
Yes.
From the very start of the game. They're still around the ball right now, pushing and shoving, and good job by Reinboldt's punt team there to put a long field in front of Chad Kelly.
Hasn't seemed to affect Chad Kelly very much. He had a hat trick of touchdowns in the opening half. Chad Kelly running 3 in. His numbers in that opening half went 9 for 14, 185 yards passing. But it's those 3 rushing touchdowns that he had that have the Argos up by 16. Pitches this one to Curly Gittens. He stiff arms Richard Leonard, who stays right on his heels and finally makes the tackle, but a late flag comes flying in.
I think we'll see an illegal block here on Toronto, way out to the edge, as Curly Gittens Jr. extended the play with that stiff arm. That's hard to hold on to those blocks by those Argonaut offensive players on the outside.
Illegal block, Toronto number 18. Half distance of the goal, repeat first down.
Dejan Brissett with that penalty.
Another costly penalty here, this time in the Ticats' favor.
About time Tiger Cats had something go in their favor. Andy said it at the half. It's not an insurmountable lead by any means, 22-6. 14 of those points for the Argos coming off Tiger Cats turnovers. 19 yards to go here for the Argos. And it's an incompletion. Gittens can't make the catch, and then he gets a shove from Chris Edwards.
Looked like maybe the ball got tipped or had some kind of strange flight there, but it really wasn't close to being a reception. Ticats defense looking at a 2nd and almost 20 here. And I'm sure we'll see that sort of umbrella coverage that we saw earlier in this game for this long yardage situation.
Ball on the Toronto 8-yard line. Defense could come up big here for the Tiger Cats. 2nd and 19. Chad Kelly looks right, and now he's going to run. Goes up the middle, and tracking him down is Mo Diallo. And when he gets his arms around you, you're not going to get far. So Kelly is brought down well short of the first down, and the Argos will have to punt. Should turn into good field position for the Tiger Cats.
We mentioned that the first preseason game 4 weeks ago at Tim Hortons Field, Gallimore was able to break a huge return, and boy, that a big play and explosive from the special teams would be well timed right now.
That was the first run by Kelly in the game that didn't result in a touchdown. Didn't even result in the first down. Haggerty back to punt. And it's a pretty good one. Gallimore sent way back inside his own 30. That punt was kicked by Haggerty from his own goal line. Gallimore still on his feet trying to dance around. He went right then left, and Darius Pickett has come out in the second half, and he's been all over the place. He made that special teams tackle, and the Tiger Cats will start this drive from their own 35. We will take a break. Third quarter from Toronto. It's the Argos leading the Tiger Cats 22-6. This is the Ticats Audio Network. We're early in the third quarter in Toronto, 11:44. Argos lead by 16 points, and you were just saying in the commercial break, Luke, the field position got flipped.
Haggerty just boomed that. That was a 60-yard net, 66-yard kick, and man, it flips the whole thing. They were really backed up, and now Ticats are on their own 35. You kind of expected them to be at center field after that.
Center fielder better with Gallimore. You never know, he might score. James Butler starts to the right, tries to cut back against the flow to the left, and the Argos, they read it pretty well. It'll be a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. Butler just over 40 yards rushing in the game. He has the Tiger Cats touchdown. They went for 2 and didn't get it in the opening half, so that is how the Tiger Cats got to 6 points. Argos have scored 3 touchdowns, all by their quarterback, Chad Kelly. 2nd and 6 here for the Tiger Cats from their own 39, and Bo Levi Mitchell is sacked. Flo Oromalade gets to him, former Stampeders teammates. But the offense sputters again for the Tiger Cats, and they'll have to punt.
Well, it was setting up like one of those classic strip fumbles, you know, where that ball gets batted out.
From the blind side.
Exactly, and Bo at least holds on to that. give his team a chance to punt.
Bailey Flint trying to shift the field position. Javon Late catches it outside the numbers at his own 30, and the Tiger Cats are right there. And I don't see any flags, so they timed that pretty well.
Yeah, they did, and it was a really well-placed punt. Again, outside the numbers, giving his coverage unit a chance to get in position. Well done.
10:16 to go in the third quarter. Argos lead 22-6. We'll return on the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you with us on this Father's Day evening. Still a pleasant night. 21 degrees in Toronto. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker. Tiger Cats fell behind 22-6 at the half. We're in the third quarter, about 5 minutes into it. Argos have the football at their own 33-yard line. Chad Kelly, the quarterback, getting his second CFL start. He pitches this over to A.J. Ouellette. He's across the 35. He'll be just short of the 40.
Tunde Adeleke coming up to meet Ouellette right at the maybe a 5-yard gain mark there, but Tunde, man, that's a hard guy to tackle, and Tunde just always meets the challenge with that. You know, he's such a sure tackle in the open field.
Great CFL safety. It is a 6-yard catch for Ouellette. The yards after the catch were key. 2nd and 4 from the Argos 39. Chad Kelly pump fake twice. Wanted to go deep, didn't, and he completes the pass to Coxie. Lawson was celebrating, I think, an incompletion, but the ball bounced up and it came back to Coxie. Bottom line is he's short of the first down by at least a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards.
That's the 4th straight 2 and out of this third quarter here. That's all we've seen so far. It's been a defensive battle to start the second half, and Chad Kelly there, he kind of pumped the ball downfield 3 times and gave ground, and you know, I mean, not only did they have a positive game, but he's just not making that silly throw that you can see in those moments where the play is progressing and nothing's happening, and instead he's finding an answer or throwing it away.
Haggerty, his last punt was from his own goal line and really shifted the field. He boomed a big punt, 60-yard net. There he is, kicking this one off to his right. So that'll send Gallimore to his left, and a big bounce over by the sideline, and Gallimore stepped out of bounds as he got that, and this will be inside the 10. I think they're spotting it at the Hamilton 7.
Those are just unbelievable kicks. Haggerty is booming these. That's making a real difference on the flow of this game.
Absolutely. Tiger Cats offense will start from their own 7. When we come back, it's 22-6, Argos lead. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Tough starting field position for the Tiger Cats here in the third quarter. Just over 8 minutes to go, and it is a 16-point deficit. Starting from their own 7, they will try a run. It goes to James Butler, and he's going to get maybe 3 yards up to the Hamilton 10. So this will bring up a 2nd and long for the Tiger Cats, and really an important 2nd down that they convert.
Well, we've just seen back-to-back 2 and outs to start the third quarter, but there's been, overall, the Ticats have lost something like 35 yards in that volley of 2 and outs, all because Haggerty. That was a 60-yard net followed by a 62-yard net punt, and the Ticats find themselves backed up.
On their own 10, they need 7 yards to get the first down. Bo Levi Mitchell, 4 receivers to his right. That's the field side. He's under pressure. He's scrambling. He gets away from that pressure. Rolls to his right. Looks for an open receiver. He's got one. He completes it. Duke Williams makes the catch. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. Great play by Bo.
Well, we can see it so easily up here as he slipped out of that pressure and made his way to the right. He's got tons of time, but the question is if he can know that and feel that he has that time, and apparently he did. He stayed behind the line of scrimmage and kept his eyes downfield. Well done.
A little breathing room from their goal line. Up to their own 30. Handoff goes to James Butler. He runs to the right, breaks a tackle. He's across the 40, tries to spin, and he gets a couple of extra yards. That'll be up to the 42-yard line. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down.
Nice run. James Butler breaking through that first layer of tacklers and then exploding up to that first down marker.
The ball spotted at the Hamilton 43. This drive started from the Tiger Cats 7 after another great punt from John Haggerty. Oh, Levi Mitchell trying to cut into this 16-point deficit. Throws right away, completes it to Tim White, and he looks and he gets hit immediately by Tarvaris McFadden. Hangs onto the football, that's the key.
And Tim White clearly frustrated. Man, that play is so crucial on one block. That's Tyler Ternowski on the outside there, and it's a hard block to make. And the timing here led to a big collision, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was tough for Tim White. He had no chance. Somehow hung on to that football. It's a loss of 3, so he was behind the line of scrimmage. That was important. He hung on to that. And flags fly as this ball is snapped.
We'll see. And that before that play was called, boy, that pocket was collapsing immediately.
Argos have been getting pressure on Bo Levi Mitchell. This will move the Tiger Cats back. We didn't get the announcement.
Yeah, it's looking like a 2nd and 18 there.
The ball moves back to the Tiger Cats 35. Tim White targeted twice, made 2 catches, -4 yards. That's not what we expect from the 4th leading receiver in the CFL last season. This one's over the middle, complete to Terry Godwin. He tried to cut and he slipped and fell right around the 40-yard line. But that's well short of the first down, and another punting situation for Bailey Flint and the Tiger Cats.
Well, it's the only first downs gained in the second half here, and a little bit of production, but it's important production and able to dig themselves out of that hole.
Punting game, very important. This time Bailey Flint, it's a good punt. Down inside the 20, and the tackle made by the special teams, Carthel Flowers Lloyd. He's all over the place, flies down there and timed it perfectly, makes the tackle, and these punters and coverage teams have been a big story in the second half. There hasn't been any scoring. Thanks to great kicks and good special teams tackles, it's still 22-6, Argos lead. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker, 4:17 to go in the third quarter. Argonauts lead by 16. Defending champs had their Grey Cup banner unveiled prior to this game. No scoring yet in the second half. Here's a big run by A.J. Ouellette. He got through the line, took a couple of bumps, no big hits, and he likes to go straight ahead, and he's across the 40, close to the 45.
It's the Argonaut first down of the second half, and a big one there. Yeah, A.J. Ouellette, man, and they're giving him as many chances as they can in this game, and he's coming up big. He's hard to tackle, and he's taking up that space quickly.
That was a pitch to him. Winning teams so far in this CFL season have averaged almost 112 yards rushing. It's important to get that rushing game going. Richard Leonard one-on-one against Curly Gittins, and Leonard stops Gittins. Jameer Thurman comes in to help out, and that was a pass behind the line of scrimmage that Richard Leonard was able to read well.
Yeah, very well. Great open field tackle. Richard Leonard, another guy who's just really, really good at identifying that play up in front of him and coming up really quickly to take the space out.
It's a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 now for the Argonauts from their own 42-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Chad Kelly stays with pressure developing in front of him, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Tavares Daniels. And we've got another punt here, Luke.
Yeah, well, we're singing. It's punch for punch here. You know, the Ticats able to win back a little bit of that field position, and then drive ends. Argonauts win back a little bit. The drive ends. We're just volleying field position back and forth here, and one of these teams' offense is going to break it open here pretty soon.
Or maybe a kick returner. Gallimore is back to return the punt. 6th straight punt in this quarter. So the third quarter has been quiet for both teams on offense. John Haggerty, he just got that punt away. It's another good one. Gallimore stands and waits at his own 20. Now he's on the run to his right. Stops, goes up the middle, across the 25, might have got to the 26 or 27 yard line. John Haggerty has been a real weapon for the Argos in this game, shifting the field.
Yeah, he really has. The Ticats coming off a drive where they were at least able to get those back-to-back first downs, and Bo Levi Mitchell sort of, finding a touch of rhythm, not making those critical errors that he did in the first half. But they've got to be able to string a drive together down the length of the field and finish with points.
Bo Levi Mitchell, 4 receivers to his left, but under pressure right away, has to backpedal and gets it to his outlet. That's James Butler. He broke 1 tackle, and he'll end up with a gain of a couple of yards. Butler battling for those 2 or 3 yards he got, but Bo Levi Mitchell has been on the run in this third quarter.
Yeah, the Argonauts bring 6 there. They bring pressure, and for the most part, when they've done that, it's producing for them, and quickly Bo Levi Mitchell has had to get out of that pocket, and that was a hard-earned 3-yard gain, but well done to just make something out of nothing.
Ball on the Hamilton 30. It's a 2nd and 7. Mitchell back to pass, pump fake. Now he steps up the middle, throws, looking deep for Duke Williams, and just missed him by inches. Incomplete, and Bailey Flint back on the field to punt.
Again, Bo in the pocket and has to step up. He escapes up the middle of that protection that was starting to break down, and I was actually surprised that he found Duke down the field, but it was a tight area there. Kind of I would still put that in a risky throw category.
Bailey Flint, high kick. Leak gets it at his own 30, runs up the middle, gets across the 40, dances back to his left, and he'll be brought down short of the 50-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Good return by Javon Leak. We'll see what this flag is.
Picking up some good, some candid sound.
During the return, illegal block. Toronto number 25. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Spencer Nichols, the rookie out of Western. So that'll push the Argos back a little bit. Finally, a returner got a significant return, and it's partially negated due to a penalty. Been a quiet third quarter for scoring, for moving the ball. Seen a lot of the punters. Just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Argos have maintained their 22-6 lead that they had at the half. Chad Kelly hands off to Ouellette behind the line of scrimmage, and he was able to get away from that first contact, but a second effort, Casey Sales was able to finally corral Ouellette. So he didn't get much. In fact, he might have lost yardage thanks to Sales.
It's almost, if this just goes back and forth, this sort of grudge match of 2 and outs, well, no problem from the Argonauts' perspective, right?
Yeah.
And they are being a little bit conservative here, and I suppose you could say, why not? But we're not seeing Chad Kelly with many chances to put the ball down the field.
It was a loss of 2 thanks to Casey Sales. Kelly under pressure. He's hit just as he throws. It's incomplete. And the trend continues.
Well, great job there, the Ticats defense. They stop A.J. Ouellette right at the line of scrimmage, and then really that was a very near sack by Jagarrett Davis on what was a 2nd and 10. And now, again, Haggerty gets a chance to flip the field.
So John Haggerty standing at his own 9-yard line. Leandre Gallimore, the rookie, is the returner for the Tiger Cats. This is his first CFL regular season game. He's been good returning. Tiger Cats go after the Haggerty punt, almost get there. This will bounce a couple of times. Gallimore tries to dive ahead, and he did it. He
Great
dove,
job.
jumped on the ball, and a flag flies. That's pretty good for a rookie to be that aware.
That was a great decision, smart play. He knew that was going to be tough for all of those Argonauts to get out of that halo, and he just dived on the ball.
No
It
yards.
kind of
Toronto number 6, 15-yard penalty.
15-yarder now. Every infraction for no yards is 15 yards now in the CFL. What a great, smart play by a young guy.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. A shutout. No scoring at all. So the fourth quarter coming up. Pretty good field position for the Tiger Cats on tap. It's the Argos leading 22-6. This is the Ticats Audio Network.
Streaming at listen.ticats.ca and the Ticats All Access app. This is the Ticats Audio Network.
Tiger Cats' second game of the season. Fourth quarter about to begin. Argonauts lead the Tiger Cats 22-6. Hamilton did not score in the first quarter or the third quarter. In fact, neither team scored in the third quarter, Luke. It was a punt fest.
Well, combined 8 punts in the third quarter, 3 first downs total, and 77 yards total. I mean, kind of a quiet third quarter.
Very quiet. And here we are starting the fourth. Bo Levi Mitchell pitches it to James Butler, and he gets a minimal gain, maybe a couple of yards. They're going to give him 1. So 2nd and 9. Tiger Cats have been in this spot a lot.
Well, with that no yards, though, now the field position sort of gets rocked, right? The Ticats are already across the center line with that headsy play by Gallimore. Big second down here.
Ball on the Toronto 49. Tiger Cats need to convert. Bo Levi Mitchell steps back. That wave goes by him, and he throws. He's hit as he throws. It got down to Tim White, but he was in tight coverage with Robertson Daniel, and the ball goes incomplete. White could not make the catch, and the Tiger Cats are going to have to punt again.
Well, Bo Levi Mitchell stepping up in the pocket, breaking off some hands in the rush there, and you know, all you can say is maybe you'd like Tim White to come meet the ball a little bit harder, but it's not easy to do. It's a tight space there, and another 2 and out.
So early fourth quarter, Bailey Flint punts toward the left corner. Javon Leake immediately runs the opposite direction, then tries to cut it upfield, and the all black of the Tiger Cats special teams with the gold numbers were there. Many of them were there to stop Leake just as he got past the 10-yard line.
Well, since the start of this half, I mean, the Ticats started off with pretty good field position after the kick return to begin the third quarter, and it sort of ebbed and flowed, and now it's kind of back in the Ticats' favor for the time being as the Argonauts start on their 13-yard line, but we'll see how that continues to shift. And like I say, you know, you're right. I mean, I'm expecting one of these quarterbacks to break this thing open, but a defensive touchdown is just as good as well.
Yes, Tiger Cats are capable of that. We had one against Winnipeg. Argos starting this drive from their own 13. They're in their all light blue with the dark numbers. Tunde Adeleke tracking down Curly Gittins and forces him out of bounds. Didn't get much, maybe a couple of yards.
Now we'll see what Chad Kelly can do with a 2nd and maybe 8 or 9. Again, Tunde coming up and taking that air out as he tracks Curly Gittins Jr. to the sidelines, and really just it's good. Ticat fans, you just love watching, you know, recognizing that, okay, it's number 2 out there chasing this open field tackle. He's going to get it, you know.
Both teams have punted 7 times. Tiger Cats, couple of interceptions, 1 touchdown, 1 drive ended at the half. The Argos haven't been a lot better. 7 punts, but 3 rushing touchdowns, all by Chad Kelly, and there are flags flying as this ball snapped.
Yeah, they're discussing it, and I can't tell either. To me, it looked like everybody.
Yeah, as expected, both teams are pointing at each other.
Procedure, Toronto number 59. 5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Dejon Allen, the offensive lineman of the Argos. That'll push them back to their own 10. So a 2nd and 13 coming up for Toronto. Chance for the Tiger Cats defense to do its thing and hope the offense can get going. Chad Kelly steps back, standing at his own goal line. He's got time, and he tries to throw deep. It is incomplete. Dexter Lawson was the defender for the Tiger Cats, but there's a couple of flags over there.
Yeah, he got dragged down at the top of the play. It was Dexter Lawson just got a handful of jersey as he was sort of losing his footing, and it was kind of obvious.
Pass interference. Hamilton, number 14. Spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
A little bit overzealous in the call there, but I don't know.
Playing to the crowd a little bit.
How costly is that? It's the only production of the whole second half, and it comes, in a tripping up pass interference penalty, a huge chunk of yards.
Penalty hurts the Tiger Cats. DeMonte Coxey was the intended receiver. This is a handoff up the middle, and Andrew Harris, the one with the football. A couple of tough running backs to bring down for the Argonauts, and Harris and Olette.
Man, you could probably hear all this. We're picking up a lot of field sound tonight, which is kind of cool to hear, but man, it's really, really intense. It's physical, it's chippy, and these teams meet 3 more times in this regular season.
2 rivals. Both teams always asked about how they like playing their rivals. A couple of former Argos on the Tiger Cats, and Chris Edwards, Jagarrett Davis. They were part of that Argos championship last season. 2nd and 6 here for Toronto from their own 54, right near midfield. Chad Kelly under pressure, hit as he throws, but completes the pass to Dejon Brissett.
Well, Brissett, he's just got a little spot route right over top of the ball, and his job is to go there and put his feet right at the first down marker. Really impressive. Chad Kelly's getting pummeled back there as he finds his check down, sitting right there for the first down, and they're able to move the chains.
Chris Edwards made the tackle. A penalty and a first down here, and the Argos offense is in Hamilton territory. A.J. Olette. Low tackle made. He's always waiting for that contact. Gets a gain of about 4 yards.
It's just so interesting. I mean, the biggest plays of the second half, of course, the punts that we talked about in the third quarter, and then a pass interference. It's just the game is designed to really penalize, especially that contact downfield. And Argonauts are pretty close here, maybe just got into field goal range.
Kelly throwing to his right. It's behind Curly Gittens. Good coverage by Richard Leonard. It's incomplete, and that will bring up 3rd down.
So let's see here.
What are they going to do here?
Yeah, 53-yarder, 52.5-yard attempt, and no, they got Haggerty out there in punt formation.
Well, they're up by 16.
The way he's been punting too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd make the same call. If you trust him to stick it down there right inside the 5-yard line, it's valuable play.
He has been very good in this game. A couple of punts of net 60 yards.
A single also makes it a 3-score game technically too, so that's not the worst thing ever for an Argonaut either.
Here's Haggerty's punt. It'll be short of the end zone at the 9. That's where Gallimore gets it. Runs to his right. He's outside the numbers and nowhere to go. He'll be across the 15. Looks like they're spotting him at the 17-yard line. There is a flag.
Really not bad. Gallimore gets it up to the 17-yard line. I mean, that was an opportunity for the
Return, holding, Hamilton, number 32. Hop distance to the goal, the first down.
What were you saying? We'll take a break. 10:29 to go in the football game. There hasn't been any scoring in the second half. So the Argos still lead 22-6. This is the Ticats Audio Network. 10:29 to go. Argos defense is on the field. Tiger Cats need to get something going offensively. They were shut out in the first and third quarters. They scored a touchdown in the second quarter. They did not get the 2-point convert that they tried for. So they've managed 6 points starting this drive from their own 5. Bo Levi Mitchell under pressure. Stays in the pocket, throws to his left. It's incomplete. Terry Godwin was the intended receiver, but both he and Quantez Stiggers were diving for that football. Nobody got it.
You know, I like the call in the spread offense with a pass here on that first down because it just breaks the form. It's a classic area just to run the ball up the middle and try to get your 5 yards. But they came up with nothing. It leaves you with the second and 10. That's very challenging. RJ, we got 11 drives in a row with no points. This would be the 12th here if the Ticats are unable to drive down this field. It's been a really different looking second half.
Tiger Cats have 11 first downs in the game, 2 of them in the second half. Bo Levi Mitchell under big time pressure. He completes the pass. Duke Williams is open up the middle, and he had to get across the 15-yard line for the first down. He did. So it is a first down presented by Active Green Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling, but Bo Levi Mitchell was slow to get up. He was behind the play, and now he's limping as he crosses the 5-yard line. He's going to go down.
No.
Bo Levi Mitchell is down, so he'll have to be looked at by the training staff.
He may have got kicked in the groin, actually. The Duke Williams able to secure that over the ball. I mean, unbelievable. Mitchell getting pressure, getting pushed to the ground, out to the right side, deep in his own end zone, but he all the way across the field finds Duke Williams, and great job by Williams to make his way up to the first down marker and to know where he needed to get to. Really valuable to dig themselves out of that hole.
Matt Schultz, no time to warm up on the sideline. He has to come in. Bo Levi Mitchell, along with the training staff, looking fine as he's walking off under his own power, holding his helmet in his hand. 9.5 minutes to go. Matt Schultz coming on in a tough situation. Duke Williams 5 catches in the game for 85 yards. He has been a major contributor on this offense. First and 10 from their own 18. Handoff goes to James Butler. Argos, they knew that was coming with Schultz, no time to warm up, coming into the football game on short notice, and Butler might have lost a yard.
So Bo Levi Mitchell, at least 3 plays, has to be out of the game here. Now they have a 2nd and 10 with Matt Schultz. Matt Schultz repeatedly last year came in at times like this and produced. There were some really impressive times last year where unexpectedly he came in and had to drive down the field, and certainly a guy who can do it.
I've talked to him. He says he prepares every game like he's going to start. If he doesn't have to go in, great. Means the starting quarterback is healthy. If he does, great, because he's prepared. Scrambling here, Argos put pressure on him, and they got him. They sack Matt Schultz. Robbie Smith gets the sack for the Argos, and they will have to punt the football back to Toronto.
Well, certainly nothing you can say bad about Matt Schultz there. That pocket collapses. They bring 5 in the rush, and I don't even disagree with his inability to throw it away. He really had to tuck that ball to protect it from, blue arms and hands everywhere.
Bailey Flint from his own goal line. This is going to be good field position for the Argos. Javon Leake gets it at the Hamilton 50. He's across the 45, down to the 40. Looks like he's crossed the Hamilton 40-yard line. So the Argos have their best field position of the second half. 7 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the football game. Argos lead 22-6. This is the Ticats Audio Network. 7:55 remaining. Argos have great field position. They are on the Hamilton 39-yard line. There hasn't been any scoring in the second half. Chad Kelly has all of the Argos touchdowns. He's run them all in. Handoff goes to A.J. Ouellette. That long blonde hair flowing behind him. Javian Elliott holding on to his waist finally brings him down. It's an Argos first down there inside the 25, just a little short of the 20.
Well, the Ticats actually came out with cover 0. That means that they've got a lot of guys up at the line of scrimmage and in that immediate linebacker level, but A.J. Ouellette able to squeeze off the left edge of his blockers there, and a huge gain. And again, you know, Javian Elliott dragging on there. He's tough to bring down and gets extra 5-6 yards.
Ball on the Hamilton 22. Tiger Cats have had trouble moving the football, trouble scoring points. Another completion to Curly Gittens. He's trying to hurl over Tiger Cats. Jagarrett Davis, Jameer Thurman are there to bring him down, but it'll be another first down to the 10, so first and goal for the Argos.
Again, cover 0 and a nice little pick play. Curly Gittens Jr. runs up the field and then slips back underneath blockers, getting in position and well executed. Chad Kelly finding his guy, getting it off before that Ticats rushes in there.
6.5 to go. First and goal, Argos trying to get the first points of the second half. Andrew Harris, he gets through the line and he runs it into the end zone and spins the football. It's a touchdown for Andrew Harris. And the Argos are up 28-6 with a convert still ahead. Argos adding to their lead is bad news for the Tiger Cats, who have had trouble moving the football, trouble putting up points. Now the deficit's even bigger. Potentially a 23-point deficit. Forrest Beatty on the field again to attempt to convert, but no field goal attempts in this game. Beatty's been good. He's hit every one of the converts, all 4 of them. And it's 29-6 for the Argos with 6 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the game.
Yep, a lot of work to do with the Ticats. And unfortunately, there's just been, no rhythm that they've been able to find. So not only do they have a lot of work to do, they've kind of got to create it from nothing, right?
We'll see who comes in at quarterback for the Tiger Cats when we come back. Just over 6 minutes to go, 29-6, Argos lead. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Not much time left in Toronto, just over 6 minutes. Tiger Cats need a big return from Leandre Gallimore. Argos just scored their 4th touchdown of the game. It's 29-6. Forrest Beatty kicks it off. Gallimore up to his own 10. He'll run to his left, and he's up to the 25 and brought down there by the Argos. Now, who's the quarterback for the Tiger Cats? Is Bo Levi Mitchell back? Looks like.
Yeah, it's Matt Schultz out there who's taking the huddle now. We'll see. I mean, Bo Levi Mitchell got off the field, on his own strength, but clearly in some pain. But Matt Schultz coming in now, and certainly now he's got a drive where he was warming up at least. So now he knows it's coming, right?
Bo Levi Mitchell, 16 for 24, 158 yards, and here's Schultz. Oh, hits Tim White on the run. Beautiful pass, great catch. Tim White's most productive of the game, and he is celebrating. He had a frustrating night up until there. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down.
Yeah, great job. That's just what we talked about. We've seen him do that constantly last year, and really calm. Takes his drop in the pocket and throws a great ball to Tim White. Tim White on a deep dig from his left.
29 yards and up to midfield now. Tiger Cats trying to answer that Argos touchdown. Matt Schultz fakes a toss to his left, dumps it off to James Butler, made a nice move to elude one tackle, and Costigan brings him down. Be a little short of the 50-yard line, so a gain of a few yards for Butler.
Well, one of the things that's sticking with me from this game that I'm sure that we're going to get talking about in our content this week, but there has not, Schultz and Bo Levi Mitchell, they have not had a lot of time back there. It's been a really, really aggressive rush from the Argonauts.
And another injury on the offensive line. Coulter Woodmansey was injured early on. Tiger Cats were only dressing an extra offensive lineman. Terry Godwin again crossing through the middle. Good pass from Schultz, but it's going to be well short of the first down. A lot of running for Godwin, but not a lot of yardage. It was more horizontal, not so much vertical. 3rd and 7.
They're staying on the field here.
They're going to go for it. 4 minutes to go, down by 23 points. Bo Levi Mitchell will not return to the game. Lower body injury. A 3rd down gamble here for Matt Schultz, who has come into the game in this 4th quarter. Can he do something miraculous? Stays in the pocket, throws, it's a high pass, it's caught. Duke Williams down at the Argos 35. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. Welcome to the game, Matt Schultz.
Stays in the pocket, there's an arm in his face, and just a great throw. Wow, past that under coverage, and Duke Williams finding that soft spot. And it was not big, but really great, well executed.
Duke Williams, first receiver for the Tiger Cats to go over 100 yards receiving. He's got 102. Another completion by Matt Schultz. This is to Keandre Smith, and he'll be a couple of yards short of a first down. Schultz 5 for 5 since he's come in.
Yeah, they're going to go no huddle here. I mean, you have to, right? You got a 3-score game. And now they're at the 3 minutes.
Yep, we're at the 3-minute warning. Matt Schultz moving the football, but the Tiger Cats are in a big hole. They don't have a lot of time to catch up. 29-6. We'll see if they can do it when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Big finish ahead. Tiger Cats have had trouble scoring. Just 6 points, but Matt Schultz has them on the move. 3 minutes to go in the football game. It's a 23-point deficit. Tiger Cats need to score. They did convert a big 3rd down on this drive. James Butler gets the handoff, waited for something to develop. He needed 2 yards to get the first down, and he's short. But how short? Another 3rd down on this drive. Tiger Cats needed 7 last time, and they went for it. You know they're going for it here. They're calling it 3rd and 1. It's a long one. The officials are discussing something. Still discussing, and looks like we're good to go now. Matt Schultz gets under center. Needs a little over a yard to keep this drive going. Gets it and a lot more. Across the 25-yard line, it's a first down for the Tiger Cats, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling, but the clock is the enemy for the Tiger Cats now too. Just 2:46 to go. They need 23 points just to tie. Schultz hurrying with the call. The clock is running. In the shotgun. Steps back to pass, and he's going deep, going for the end zone, looking for Tim White, but it was too far, and it's incomplete. Had to try it, though.
Yeah, took a shot, and you got to love that, but a couple Argonaut defensive backs, down in that corner there, and put it in a place where, Tim White probably had the best chance of making the reception, but still not a clear path to that reception there. This second down here in 10, we've seen mistakes down here tonight, earlier, and right now Matt Schultz has to make sure he knows he has 2 plays here to get this first down. He can't make an error now.
Ball on the Argos 24. Schultz throws, completes it to Tim White. Robertson Daniel corralled his feet. White won't have enough for the first down, but like you said, Luke, it's 3-down territory for the Tiger Cats. This will be a 3rd and looks like 2 yards. There's 2:27 to go. Tiger Cats have scored 6 points. Last time they were held under 10 points in a game was Labor Day last season against the Argos, of course. They lost that game 28-8. Trying to get to double digits here. Schultz throws to Tim White again. He's inside the 10. He's got enough for the first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. They're chipping away, getting closer to the end zone. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. An Argos injury. So that'll give the Tiger Cats a bit of a breather. Also the Argos defense a bit of a breather. But let's assume, Luke, that Tiger Cats get a touchdown here.
Yeah, it gets
Onside?
really interesting. Yeah, you need to get down there 2 more times. Man, I think part of the reason it just kind of looks easy right now for Matt Schultz is he's just got some just mental, emotional freedom to just go in there and say, and just why not? He wasn't expecting to be playing or in this position tonight, but he's making his reads really, really calmly and smoothly and quickly. He's just finding an open guy and taking what he can get. It looks great.
He prepares to be in this position, and he's taking advantage of it, but he's got to hurry. Empty backfield, and look to his left, nobody open. So rolls to his right, throws to the corner of the end zone. It is caught. It's a touchdown. Tyler Turnowski.
What a great catch. Wow.
Kept a foot in bounds. He didn't have a centimeter to spare.
I mean, man, it was... What a great job by Matt Schultz to just keep his eyes downfield, because it looked for a second there like he was eyeing up, just throwing it away, right? And Turnowski keeps his body positioned just so that he can keep that toe touching in the end zone. Great connection by those two.
Amazing concentration by Turnowski. That's the first points for the Tiger Cats in the last 9 drives. They're going to go for 2. It's currently 29-12. Trying the 2-point convert, Matt Schultz. 3 receivers to his right. Looks that direction. Throws to the corner. And it's a perfect pass. It's Turnowski again. The touchdown and the 2 points. And the Tiger Cats are down 29-14. That touchdown presented by Terkstra Lumber. Minute 55 to go.
Now Turnowski kind of stutters coming off the line there, and then breaks the outside on a fade, and Schultz finds him actually, a touch late, but man, great job by Turnowski. Back-to-back receptions in the end zone. Late in this game, it's a young guy, just great to watch him do that. And he adds in wherever he can. He's got a very David Stala looking thing going on with his, local guy with his 88 and just tough as could be. Just a really, really great to see that late touchdown.
2 great passes by Matt Schultz, too. Pretty good coverage on both of them.
Yep.
Turnowski, great concentration on the touchdown to keep a toe inbounds. And then that pass on the 2-point convert was just over the defender, Tarveris McFadden, right to Turnowski. So this is something that gets worked on. It hasn't been implemented into a game yet for the Tiger Cats. And here's another trick to it. Mark Leggio was just brought onto the team on Saturday. And here we are on Sunday. So he's been with the team for a day. Longtime Winnipeg Blue Bomber. Couple of options here to kick this on the onside. And it gets kicked to the left, and the Argos have it. And untouched for a while was Curly Gittins, and he had no intention of running that back very far, just wanted to take a few more seconds off the clock. So the onside kick did not work for the Tiger Cats, and Argos will get the ball on the Hamilton 35.
Yeah, low probability, and you're right, it does not help that you haven't repped that with Leggio, who just came in as a Ticat a day or 2 ago, and they actually lined up with, they actually used Flint and Leggio lined up with sort of giving yourself a 2-way go on that onside, but yeah, low probability, of course, and Argos have the ball.
Minute 51 to go. Tiger Cats defense, they'll be trying to somehow get a turnover. Chad Kelly keeps it himself and runs to the right and takes a hit from Tunde Adeleke. He didn't go down immediately, got the first down, but with a pretty big lead, kind of surprising to see the starting quarterback be willing to take contact.
Yeah. It looked a little, he was beginning his slide there, but Tunde making contact while before his knee had touched the ground and clean, but you got to see it slow. It was a pretty aggressive tackle there at the end.
15-point lead for the Argos. They just got another first down. They're down to the Hamilton 23-yard line. Argos not in a hurry. They'd like to take a little more time before scoring any points here. Tiger Cats have to go for a turnover. Try to get that ball loose. Jameer Thurman tried. A.J. Olette was not about to let it go on that carry. Got a gain of 2.
Timeout, Hamilton.
So the Tiger Cats call a timeout. The ball just a couple inches shy of the 20-yard line. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Argos. That's really all the Tiger Cats can hope for here, isn't it, Luke? Try to create a turnover.
Yeah, you got to come up big because of course you're going to have to score and then find a way to give yourself another chance. But it's also just effort too. These guys and no way it goes unsaid by Orlando Steinauer and his staff as to what this last minute and a half is going to look like. You've got to sell out. You've just got to go and try to do anything you can right now to make a difference.
Levi Mitchell got injured in the 4th quarter. Matt Schultz came in, went 9 for 10 for 81 yards and a touchdown. They accomplished the 2-point convert. It's 29-14. Minute 24 on the clock. 2nd and 7 here for the Argos. They'll keep it on the ground. It's to Andrew Harris, and he'll dive ahead to the 15-yard line. That'll be about a yard short of the first down, and he doesn't get a very good spot, so it'll be about 2 yards short of the first down.
I'm surprised they're keeping Chad Kelly on the field right here for a 3rd and 2. A field goal puts this to a 3-score game. It's kind of a strange call.
They have to be trying to lure the Tiger Cats offside, don't you think?
We'll see.
3rd and 3. Kelly's in the shotgun. And a hard count. Tiger Cats didn't flinch.
Oh.
And there's Ryan Dinwiddie with the
Timeout.
official.
Good call.
Called the timeout. It's a veteran defense for the Tiger Cats. I think most would have been surprised if they had a bit on that. They didn't. Now the Argos will go for that field goal you talked about. Surprisingly, the first field goal attempt of the football game. That comes with a minute to go.
It was a strange second half. It's almost like the 3rd quarter just disappeared from this game, right? And easy to say that now. I mean, each team had many opportunities to break it open, but it was sort of just a net neutral 3rd quarter, and the Ticats ran out of time here.
22-yard field goal attempt, but before the ball snapped, there's a flag.
Procedure. Toronto number 93. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
So, just to make it a little more interesting, pushes the Argos back a little bit. Now a 27-yard attempt for Boris Beatty. His first field goal attempt of 2023. He's been successful on all 4 of the convert attempts. High snap, and Beatty, no problem, kicks it through from 27 yards. And now the Argonauts go over 30 points in the game. 32-14, they lead with 56 seconds to go.
Well, the obvious question comes up here. What do you do from here with the Ticats? With Matt Schultz coming in and, looking great. I mean, operating well. Obviously, you hope that Levi Mitchell is healthy because it was hard to tell. It was sort of a strange play that forced him to leave the game, and you hope that he's healthy. You've got your offensive line that's been 2 weeks in a row, one man short as it turns out, or two men short in some instances, and so you got to work through those injuries, and again you're kind of back to this strange quarterback situation as a Ticat.
Tiger Cats have allowed a lot of points. 74 points allowed in the first 2 games. 14 of those off turnovers in this one. Under a minute to go. DeAndre Gallimore, the returner in this game. Lawrence Woods yesterday put on the 6-game injured list. Gallimore at his own 5. He's across the 15, the 20, the 25, and he tried to cut to his right, lost his footing, and as he slides, he's touched, and he's just past the 25-yard line. Looks like they'll spot it at the 28. Malik Carney having some words with the Argos. Frustrating start for the Tiger Cats. 51 seconds to go. Matt Schultz, 9 for 10, 81 yards, and that touchdown. Tyler Turnowski scored the touchdown and caught the 2-point convert as well. Ball on the Hamilton 28 to begin this drive, but under a minute to go and a large deficit. So the Argos have all backed off, and James Butler able to catch the pass out of the backfield and gets a first down. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down. Tiger Cats second down conversions in this game, 7 for 21. Duke Williams, 102 yards receiving. Toronto, 110 yards rushing. That rushing defense for the Tiger Cats, 145 yards allowed last week. Hamilton, 41 yards offense in the third quarter. Pretty quiet. Here in the fourth, Matt Schultz at the helm for the injured Bo Levi Mitchell. Same scenario. Argos back off. James Butler underneath makes the catch, and he'll have another gain of 6 or 7.
Yeah, still operating well. They're taking their yards where they can get it, and that's about it. I mean, even in this point in the game, there's no sense in forcing things and making that low probability throw. Just keep on taking what you can. 31 seconds left. You're just trying to put a couple more productive plays on film.
Clock is running. Schultz throws to the far sideline. Long throw, and Turnowski makes a nice catch. Dove made the catch. He's turning into a favorite target here for Matt Schultz late in this football game. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. James Butler, 57 yards rushing, 44 yards receiving. He's over 100 combined yards, 101. Matt Schultz, 10 seconds to go. And another completion to Butler. He's hit immediately, stays on his feet, breaks a couple of tackles across midfield, crossed the Argos 50, and then brought down. Another first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. Only 3 seconds to go in the game, though. And it's a 32-14 lead for Toronto.
Well, this is exactly what I meant. You just keep putting some more positivity on film, and you can talk about this and coach on this because it is kind of impressive. And yes, the Argonauts are playing a really prevent defense. They're playing a soft shell zone, but still, you got to, even in that defense, you still got to make your progression. You got to find your check down like Matt Schultz is doing, and guys are still doing everything they can to move the chains.
Argos are celebrating. This will be the final play of the football game in all likelihood. Matt Schultz decides nobody's open. Had to keep it and slides, and that's it. That's the football game. The Argos win 32-14, and they start their season trying to defend that Grey Cup. It's a successful start for Toronto. The Tiger Cats, a tough start, 0-2. Time now for the Access Storage recap of the game. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. So it's an 0-2 start for the Tiger Cats, Luke, but really, when you look at the schedule, starting in Winnipeg, then in Toronto against the defending champs, that is a tough schedule, and it would be difficult for many teams to come out of that with a victory. Tiger Cats do not. What are your thoughts on this game?
Well, yeah, that is a tough start, but the Ticats, they're making enough mistakes to lose, regardless, right? I mean, the turnovers have been at bad times in bad field positions, and of poor decisions. We're catching all this footage on the field here, and Orlando Steinauer is displeased. You know, he's got a lot of puzzles to solve here with his team. I think on the offensive and defensive line, I think the Argonauts were better tonight than the Tiger Cats. You saw Bo Levi Mitchell just time and again, you know, get to the end of his drop and have to escape immediately. You know, not having time to settle and make his normal progression. That's something they've got to get figured out. And then of course Bo Levi Mitchell, you know, didn't finish this game and is dealing with some injury on the field. So of course we've got to stay tuned as the days progress and see what comes of that. But there's also some positivity there. I mean, you were not able to take the ball away very well in this game, but you also they stopped the bleeding there after the first 2 interceptions and were able to have better ball security. And then at the end in that fourth quarter, Matt Schultz came in and operated a pretty successful offense. That looked really good. And so you got that conversation to have as the week progresses as well.
In week 2, it's too early to start a controversy. It all depends on Bo's health.
Of course.
And there's so many factors in there. But Matt Schultz, we saw it from him last year. He comes in and plays great.
Yep, he does. And we'll see. We'll see how the week goes. They're coming into a short week here and getting ready for Montreal, who also on bye week, right? But then beat Ottawa to start the season off. So really interesting how this East is taking shape, and Hamilton continues to play these teams with, you know, very minimal game footage leading into, which is sort of a different sort of storyline than I've seen before. But now they get a chance to go back home. It's a quick turnaround here, and so long as you can get most of your guys healthy, you know, these problems, they've got another opportunity to continue to correct these things that are again leading to them coming up short.
Tiger Cats had 8 days off between their first and second game this one. Now they'll only have 4 days before their next game, and that's against Montreal, as you mentioned, Luke. It's the home opener at Tim Hortons Field, and maybe the Tiger Cats will get their first victory of the season. The final score in Toronto: the Argonauts beat the Tiger Cats 32-14. Tiger Cats postgame with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantuz is coming up next. For Luke Tasker, our statistician Jeff Girodat, our producer Jake Varco, our technical operator Michael Steyer, I'm RJ Broadhead. Thanks for listening to Hamilton Tiger Cats football on the Ticats Audio Network.
Streaming live at listen.ticats.ca. This is the Ticats Audio Network.